Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Can you all hear me, please? Confirm you can hear me. If I can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you.
Can hear you.
Thank you. My name is someone's hand is up. Optimum. Your hand is up. You want to say something? No, you can write down. Optimum, your hand is up. Interrupting sound. What interrupting sound? Okay. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Is it better now? Can you hear me now? Better now? Okay. Okay, great. All right. Some people said no, some people said yes, some people say better. What's going on? Someone should unmute. Let's talk. Let me confirm that you can hear me properly. Okay, give me a second.
I can hear you.
Okay, give me a moment. Let me sort it out. Don't know. Sorry, the recording was paused. Yeah, okay. So sales is, well, I'll share my screen. So sales is as a result of the marketing efforts that has been put in by the marketing guys to then that will then translate into people buying the product or the service. That depends, right? So that is where sales comes into play. But marketing is you promoting the product and the service. Now, what is digital? Digital are, of course, like we know, anything digital products, electronics. Using electronic means, using digital means to promote the product or service. So yeah, this is the definition now. So digital marketing now is simply using of technologies like the internet, social media, you have mentioned, or any other digital medium to promote goods and services, right? It is the marketing and the promotion of products or services using digital technologies via the internet, social media, or any other digital medium. And it consists of different marketing strategies. I saw some people mention search engine optimization, email marketing, social media marketing, there's content marketing, there's influencer marketing, and search engine marketing, and the rest of them, right? So I saw a lot of people mention that, and I was really impressed. So it is you marketing your product or services digitally using technologies like the internet, using the social media, using any other digital medium applications and all whatnot, right? To promote the products and services. And of course, it consists of different strategies: social media marketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, like you all rightly mentioned. Yeah. So digital marketing, the best part of it is that it is driven by data and how best the data can be utilized to suit business marketing goals. Compared to the traditional methods of advertising, right, or traditional methods of marketing, like the billboards, print, radio, TV, digital marketing usually targets a particular set of persons that are relevant to a business or an organization. So here's the drill. If, let's say, for instance, I mean, traditional methods of marketing still work, don't get us wrong. They are still very much in vogue, and they are still very, very much they still work a lot, right? They still work. If you have the capacity and the financial uh, uh, financial muscle to actually pull it off, then you're good to go, right? But the thing is, compared to digital marketing, traditional methods of marketing rarely targets a particular set of persons that are relevant to your business or organization. Take, for instance, the billboards we just mentioned. Placing a billboard in a popular location, wherever the popular location might be, right, is you trying to cast your net into the water and hoping to catch fishes. Because if you place your billboard now, let's say for instance, located in Lagos, and in Lagos, there are various locations that are probably very strategic that has a lot of population of people probably trooping through that place on a daily basis. Okay, let's use for instance the third mainland bridge that takes people into the island and back to the mainland. So if as far as you're going through road, you probably have to pass through the third mainland bridge to get to the island or get back to the mainland, right? So let's say, for instance, you probably put up a billboard at third mainland bridge, right? Oh, please don't mark my screen, please. I'll turn that off. So you probably put a billboard at third mainland bridge, and your business is probably selling something. I don't know what to say now. Probably you sell a specific item, but because it's on third mainland bridge, there's every probability that so many people are going to be passing third mainland bridge, right? And even the probability of people whom your business are going to be targeting or who the business is actually relevant to is very slim. We call this kind of marketing, like that of billboards, we call them over the line marketing, right? And they are mostly for top of mind awareness, because if you look at like billboards are mostly used by very large organizations that have a lot of money to actually pull it off. And why they are doing it is so that your brand will continue to be at the top of your mind. That's why it's called top of mind awareness, because the more you continue to see a thing, the more it continues to be in your mind, the more you continue to remember them, right? The more of the visuals of a thing you see, the more of the things you can visualize, the more the things are going to stay stuck in your mind, and the more you're going to remember the brand when you probably want to make a purchase of that nature or you want to actually patronize that business, right? So we call that mobile line marketing. And just like I explained, it's quite difficult to actually target a particular set of people because every Tom, Dick, and Harry are going to be passing that are going to be going through that particular route. People who are interested, people who are not interested, people who will not even glance through it, people who will just glance through it. It doesn't really target the right set of people that you want, right? And same applies to the prints. If you're giving if you print a flyer now, maybe you need to go to the road and probably start sharing handbills and flyer to people. You'll probably be sharing it to practically everybody. If you look, most of the handbills that have been shared to people, the moment you even give it to somebody on the road, the next thing they have folded it and put it in their pocket, or they've squeezed it and thrown it away, right? Because it is not relevant to them. I think those the people that these handbills kind of part of marketing actually works for a lot is probably maybe churches. Well, I say churches because they probably need every kind of person to attend a particular program or event. But even at that, they still have the specific people they actually want. Depends on the goal and the target of the program. Right, but I'm hoping you understand where I'm driving at and what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't really target people that are relevant to a business or to an organization using traditional methods of marketing compared to using digital methods of marketing. Okay, so this is gonna start again. Okay, so let's go to the benefits of digital marketing. Right? What are the benefits? What can I benefit if I'm trying to deploy digital marketing into a business, into my business? What exactly am I going to be benefiting from it? Right? What does it do for me as a business? Why should I even do it in the first place? Now, digital marketing is there to help brands to reach a wider audience and increase their brand visibility. Reach a wider audience and increase their brand visibility. I mean, we all know that with the internet now, you can be in a particular location and reach out to anybody in any part of the world any part of the world. They can see your product, they can see your service in any part of the world whatsoever. You might probably maybe get some limitations if probably your business deals with physical products. Now that's where you probably get some limitations. If I mean you actually want that to limit you, maybe you have to give deliveries to people. So that will probably now be your limitation on, okay, I can't probably deliver to this particular location because it is too far from me or because my delivery services cannot get to that particular point. But reaching a wider audience is not going to be a problem. And because you're using digital marketing, you probably reach more audience than people who are stationed in a particular location. Let's use, for instance, somebody who sells um, a boutique, who has a boutique, for instance, now. You have a boutique, a very big one, a very large boutique. You sell all kind of products, you sell clothes and all of this stuff. But you're probably located in one location. Now, I'll use for those who are not in Lagos. Sorry, but I'll probably be using certain locations that maybe I'm conversant with in Lagos, right? Okay, let's say for instance now Port Harcourt, you have someone who sells boutique and you're in Port Harcourt. You're probably located at somewhere in maybe um, somewhere in Obiakpo local government area, maybe at Mokoro Market or at the popular My One Market, depends on where you're located, right? And you don't have any digital presence whatsoever. So you're only dependent on people who are actually going to be coming into that market on a daily basis, right? People who are going to be seeing your product in that market. So if people do not come to the market that day, they won't see your product or your services. You'll probably be making lesser and you'll probably be reaching a lower audience than someone who probably doesn't even have a physical shop whatsoever, but has his presence online and sells to people online. He's pushing out his products online. He doesn't even need a physical shop whatsoever. He has products, he has products that he's already pushing out, his own set of clothes, he's pushing it out. So reach a wider audience than you, who has a physical shop where you even have to pay rent, you have to pay rent monthly, you have to pay some other levies that has to do with the particular location that you're staying. But compared to someone who is online, who probably doesn't have a shop, he probably only needs a delivery guy who's going to deliver when people place orders, and he's going to be making more money, right, than you. He's also going to be reaching more people than you. His brand is also going to be getting more visibility than you, right? So it helps brands, it helps businesses to reach a wider audience and to also increase their brand visibility. Next is that it helps convert fans to customers who will go on to become loyal customers and advocates of the business. Now, I know that there might be a question. What's the difference between fans and customers? Who are fans? Who are customers? Do businesses have fans? That's the question. That might probably be the question popping up in some of us heads. Yes, businesses can have fans who are not customers. Let's use, for instance, myself. There are certain businesses I probably admire online. I admire them maybe because of the kind of contents that they put out, maybe because of how their page looks, maybe because of maybe one reason or the other, right? I just admire the business. Maybe I admire their style of marketing. I'm a fan. I follow them, yes. I probably turn on their notification, maybe. I am conversant with them. I just know the brand. If I see them, I know that this is this brand. Yes, I'm a fan, but I'm not a customer. I'm not a customer because I have not made a purchase from them. I have not bought anything from them of significance. I have not had any problem that they actually need, that I actually need them to solve. I'm just following them from a distance as a fan. Now, customers are those persons who I will become a customer if probably one of the days I get to have a problem and I found out that, okay, this problem is actually pressing and I need to solve it. And these are the guys that can help me solve that problem. And I reach out to them and I make a purchase of their product or their service. At that point, I have migrated from becoming a fan to becoming a customer, right? So that is how digital marketing can help your business to be. It helps business to convert fans to customers who can then go on to become loyal customers and advocates of the business. Loyal customers in the sense that, yes, you have bought one today, you probably want to buy the next time tomorrow, you probably buy again when you have another issue like that, or you probably just like that product and you go on to continue to buy from them. And you become an advocate of the business because you start going around telling other persons who actually need those services that whoa, I bought this from this particular set of people and it has been working really magic for me. You should patronize them, right? And it is very easy. It is very easy, very easy for I think word of mouth marketing is actually the best. When we say word of mouth marketing, what we mean is from one person telling another person, right? I bought something from, say, maybe I bought something from Kinky's brand online. She sells maybe shoes, right? Maybe sneakers. I bought a sneaker from Kinky's brand online. I love the sneakers. It's making sense. I love it so much. I have a friend who's probably looking out to buy sneakers. And the next thing I'm telling him, hey, bro, you should buy from Kinky's brand. Because he's my friend, because he has seen that I am using that particular shoe, he will be more inclined to buy from Kinky's brand than wanting to go and try something new or someone new that he does not actually know, right? So it is easier for people to actually buy from word of mouth. And it's also very easy for you to sell more when people are advocating for your business. Because hey, let's say my friend has been um um looking at another brand, for instance. Now he wants to buy his own sneakers. He's now looking at another brand. Maybe the brand's name is Funk's Shoes, and he has been following them. He probably has even saved some sneakers that he wants to buy in his cart, and probably came and met me one day. I was like, bro, I want to buy sneakers. So come see whether this one they fine. I'm using Pigeon. Yeah, so I'm sure we all understand Pigeon if we don't I'm using this. So you say, okay, bro, this sneakers is very fine. I like it. I want you to make a selection. Maybe he has like maybe 4 or 5 sneakers that he has selected, but he's confused and maybe he wants to buy one or buy two. And it now shows me who is his friend who has probably bought from some other person online before, and you should serving me well, right? And I look at him like, I get somebody, or I have somebody that sells sneakers. I bought one from them, and the thing has been awesome. It has served me for a while now. My friend will therefore most likely leave the Funks brand that he has been following and has been saving shoes that he wanted to buy from and go and buy from the people I just recommended him to. And that's how it works, right? Because they've served me well, because they reached out, I saw them online. I've convinced my friend to leave a product he wanted to buy to go and buy from another brand, right? And it works magic like that because I have now become an advocate of that particular business. I've become an advocate of that brand, right? And I have become a loyal customer as well. So you see, wow, that works. I don't know video, please. Yeah, the next is that it helps brands to target the advertisement to the right audience. For this one is also very imperative that you're targeting your advertisement to the right audience. If you want to run an ad, you'll have every possibility to target the people you want to target. You use the kind of words you want the people you're targeting to actually resonate with, right? It's not just random compared to traditional methods of marketing. For instance, if you're doing a radio ad now, let's say you're doing a radio ad, you probably spend more money doing a radio ad and you probably do not even know who you're targeting because everybody is listening to the radio. If you step out in the morning and maybe you want to go out to work or you're going to somewhere and you get into a taxi, you are probably listening to the radio on the taxi. Every other person in that taxi is also probably listening to the radio, and an advert comes in, right? The advert is really not targeting any particular set of persons. But of course, it's targeting a particular set of persons as well. But you end up having people call you, and you probably might not even be able to trace where the target is coming from. Okay, let's say for instance now, I've not gotten to that, but I'll get to that, right? Let's say for instance now, you run a radio ad and someone calls you. Maybe you run, because most times when people want to run radio ads, they run it in different radio stations. Let's say you run your radio ads in 5 different radio stations, and 5 different radio stations is quite a lot, which you're going to spend a lot of money. And you now have people start calling in and say, oh, I listened to your ad on radio. You will not start asking them what radio station. That can be people listen to their ad on radio. You can't even tell which particular radio station that gives you that customer, right? So you can't even track it and get into tracking part. Now, digital marketing is cost effective compared to traditional marketing. I mean, we all know this. Doing digital marketing is much more cost effective. One, you spend less money. What do you need? Maybe you want to thrive on social media. What do you need to do? You open social media accounts, right? and probably you do make some little investments, do some good content, make posts, maybe sponsor your post once in once in a while, which the sponsorship is not as expensive as that of traditional methods of marketing. And maybe you now want to use influencer marketing. That's where you probably be spending some huge sum of money, but not that huge compared to traditional methods of marketing. Traditional methods of marketing now, you will be spending much, much more. Let's say, for instance, the billboards that we talked about, right? Placing a billboard in a particular location is very, 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 very expensive. That depends on the size of the billboard. It also depends on the location where the billboard is found. A billboard can cost as much as 500,000 naira for 3 weeks or 1 month. Like, having a billboard in a particular place, sometimes even 2 weeks, depends on the location, depends on the size of the billboard, right? You can be spending as much as 300 to 500, that might even be small. You can be spending as much as 1 million naira for just 1 month to have a billboard in a particular location that will probably not even convert, right? So you can see how expensive it is. Same thing with maybe you want to run TV ads now. TV, buying airtime is quite expensive, right? And of course, if you're buying airtime on TV, you're not going to be buying maybe just one slot. You probably be buying 3, 4, 5. What did I say? Just say 3, 4, 5 slots. You probably be buying as many slots as possible because you want your ads to pop up as many times as possible. And that's a lot of money. That's a huge amount of budget, and you're not still sure you probably convert. Nothing is actually certain in life, but I mean, it's quite expensive compared to traditional methods of marketing and digital marketing, where you are more cost effective and you make more money. If you want to print handbills now, you know how much you're going to be spending to print handbills, and you also need to find the right locations to be able to share these handbills. Also, there are other, probably maybe other levies or other discrepancies that you might have to take care of. So it's more expensive. You can measure the result of your marketing efforts. Yeah, I just said this. Compared to traditional methods where, like I said, maybe you're running ad on radio, anybody's calling, you cannot really tell which particular radio is giving me these particular customers, right? So you can now decide, okay, probably, let's say, for instance, you run an ad on Wazobia, you run an ad on Cool FM, you run an ad on maybe Niger FM, you run an ad on probably maybe 5 different stations. You're probably having maybe 5 different stations where you have ads running, right? You can't really tell where this ad, like where the result is coming from, because maybe somebody calls you, they'll just tell you I heard your ad on radio. So you can't say, okay, maybe this particular radio station is giving me more results. Let me channel my efforts to this particular one. But in digital marketing, you can say, okay, this is where my result is coming from. This is where this is what is giving me more results. This one did well. This particular ad did well. This particular post did better. How do we let me capitalize on this? Let me make more contents that look like this, right? So you can actually measure the result of your efforts from the analytics that will be provided. Next, it helps brands to build great relationships with their customers, right? So you want to build a relationship with your customers. People buy from who they trust, and how do they trust you when they have not built a relationship with you to a certain level? Even if someone is popping on your page for the first time, they probably need some level of convincing to want them to buy. So that's why you see people pop on a page for the first time. They probably saw something that they liked, they want to buy it. Then they will have to now probably go first and start scrolling through the page to check the person's page to be sure that they can actually trust this person. Right? It is now a result of what you have been doing over time on the digital marketing space that people can now say, oh, okay, I think I can trust this person. This person has been able to build great relationship with their customers. So you want to be able to build a relationship with your customers, and it can help you do that because you can even handle what's it called now? Customer care via digital marketing, and it helps to do that, right? So I'll move on. It helps brands stay ahead of their competitors. It helps brands stay ahead of their competitors, right? So there will always be competitors. There will always be competitor brands, right? So you need to be able to stay ahead of your competitors. Take it or leave it, there's always competition. I know, yes, people will say, some people will say you don't have a competitor, you're competing against, let's say now for a personal brand, for instance. You're saying you're not competing with anybody, you're competing against yourself, right? It's fine. Nobody's arguing like that. But I mean, there will always be competition. Right? Everybody's competing against each other one way or the other. There are different businesses. If you feel you're not competing against a brand, there's every tendency that the brand is competing against you. Now, I'll tell you that competition is everywhere, and you want to be able to stay ahead of your competitors. Now, let's use a football team, for instance. A football team has a pool of players, a large pool of players. Okay, let me not even go to the club level. Let me stay at country level now, international level. If there's an international break now, Nigeria or Ghana or any country will probably invite a pool of, let's say, 26 players or 23 players, depends on the coach. I think mostly it's 26, that's the benchmark. Say you invite 26 players, right? 3 goalkeepers and 23 players. Out of these persons that are going to, you're inviting into the team, right? How many persons are going to play a football match per time? Just 11. 11 players on the pitch, nothing more, nothing less, right? And then you probably have the option to make 5 substitutions, yes. And that's at the discretion of the coach. It can depend on the different matches. He might decide not to make make any substitution at all, or make just 3 substitutions. So what happens to the other players who are in the team? They never play, right? They never play. And since they don't play, what do they do in training? They are competing against each other. How are they competing? They are competing for who is actually going to get a starting spot in the coach's team. So everybody is trying to stay ahead, trying to stay fitter, trying to get better than the other person who is actually starting the match, because you also want to be a regular starter. So you see that there's competition, right? And digital marketing will help you stay ahead of your competitors. It helps you know what they are doing and help you stay one step forward ahead of your competitors. Coke and Pepsi have been competitors over the years. Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they've been huge competitors over the years, and they are always at par at each other, this one is trying to get better than this one. This one is also trying to get better than this one. This one is trying to do an ad that is going to beat this one's ad, right? And it keeps going like that, right? So you see that they are trying to stay ahead of their competitors. I'll tell you a story of an ad I saw. A Coca-Cola ad I saw, a Pepsi Coca-Cola ad I saw. I'm sure some of us have seen that ad before, right? But it's just an example of how competition is and how competition breeds innovation. A boy, there was a little boy in the ad. I think he was 5 years or 6 years old. He was within that age bracket, very young boy. And he's one of these what are these guys called now? It's South American countries, yeah, because he looked like a South American, and the music that was playing at the background was also their kind of music from the background. And he went to this thing is always not sticking in my head. The dispenser, yeah. He went to a dispenser where you have to put in coins or put in some amount of money and get what you want, maybe a drink, maybe food or whatever, right? And he went to that dispenser, he walked down to that dispenser. He's a small boy. There was Coca-Cola at the bottom, at the part where his hand could get to it. And then there was Pepsi at the top, like very high spots where only an adult who's probably even tall enough can actually access. This guy is a small boy, so he's very small. And I was watching that ad and I was watching what was going on. He went to the dispenser, he put in his money, his coin, and because his hand could only access that of Coke, right? A Coca-Cola can fell out and he took it. I expected that, okay, he was going to take the Coca-Cola can, but he did not. He put in a coin again, and another Coca-Cola can came out. I was like, okay, probably he wants to buy 2 cans of Coca-Cola. And a vending machine, thank you. I called it a dispenser. It's a vending machine. It's not always sticking in my head. Thank you, kindly. Yeah. So he took out the next one, and then he took out the second can, and he placed the 2 cans on the floor. stepped on the two cans to elevate himself, right? And then put in his coin again, and the Pepsi came out. At this point, the Coca-Cola cans were able to elevate him to the point where he could actually take the Pepsi. And the Pepsi came out, and he took the Pepsi, stepped down from the Coca-Cola, and drank it and went on his way. That's just a practical example of how these guys are very in high competition with each other. Don't ask me if that is legal or not. I can't tell you. I can't really explain because there's supposed to be some legal implications to that, right? I can't say for sure if there is sued or not, but I'm just trying to give you an example of how the competition works between these two leading persons in that industry, and they have been doing it for years, and they're always trying to stay ahead of each other. So you also want to do that. And then the last thing I have on my list here is that it gives the best return on investment when done properly. Yes. Digital marketing gives the best return on investment when done properly. The aim of every business is to make money, right? ROI, return on investment. You want to ensure that you put in money and you're able to get back the money that you've put in to your business. And if you do your digital marketing really properly, you can actually get a good return on investment, right? Right. Yes, right. So brands are putting a lot of money into their digital marketing efforts. Even the very big brands. I just mentioned Coca-Cola, Pepsi, right? I just mentioned Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the MTNs. These guys are still throwing a lot of money into their digital marketing efforts. They are trying to stay updated with trends. They are trying to stay updated in the market. They are always putting out campaigns, always trying to make sure that they carry audience along, get engagement and all of this stuff, right? Because they want to actually keep people remembering the brand, and which also gives them a return on investment, because the more people see their brand, the more they stick into people's head as a popular brand, and the more they make money, right? And people buy popularity. I'll say this now, right? I'm going to say this very well. People buy what is popular. People want to buy what they are familiar with. That's the whole idea of branding. That's why you're trying to brand. That's why every business is trying to brand, because they want to get to that top and become popular. They want people to actually see their brand. Right? That's why brands spend a lot of money on brand visibility. I don't know if anybody has hosted any kind of event here before, right? But if you've hosted an event and probably you need a brand to come in as a sponsor or anything, what they want to know about your event is how many people are you going to be able to have in that event? How many people are you going to be able to have in that event? What's the strategy that you want to use to project the event for other people in the world to see? Why? Because they just want to give you something, and in return, what they want is brand visibility. In return, what they want is to have their brand name, their brand mix all over the place, have their agents or their brand ambassadors in the place, right? That's why Pepsi sponsors Big Brother Niger, because Big Brother Niger is a big show, is something that's big, right? It's something that practically the whole of Nigeria and some African countries also watch, right? And it gives them visibility. So they give you money, and in return, they want visibility. They want to have Pepsi banner somewhere in your event, maybe in one or two strategic places. They want to have a vendor selling Pepsi, only Pepsi in the place, right? So these are what brands actually want. They actually want to be visible, right? That's why they spend a lot of money on their digital marketing efforts. Is there any question so far before I move forward? I've been talking. Any question? Okay. Okay. There's no question. All right, that's fine. I'll just move forward. Now, let's go back. Let's go over to considerations to market online. Considerations to market online. What are the things you should consider? What are the things you should consider when you want to market online, when you're trying to roll out digital marketing to people? First question is, who am I? Who am I is not you asking yourself. Who am I now is you asking a question as a business, or the business asking the question of who am I as a brand? Understanding the vision, the mission, and values of that business or of that brand, right? You need to know exactly what the brand is. You need to know okay, I think I'm seeing some questions. If I move forward, sorry, I'm seeing some questions in the chat section. So I'll just go back and answer the questions. Someone says I should throw more light on return on investments. I should throw more light on return on investment. Return on investment, all right, fine, I'll answer. Return on investment is simply getting money for what you've actually getting back your money that you put into a business, right? Okay, let me explain it like this. You invested 50,000 naira to probably run a Meta ad. Let's say you wanted to run Facebook ad and you invested 50,000 naira to run the ad, right? The return on investment now, if you get back, let's say you make sales and you made sales of over 100,000 or 200,000, as the case might be, or more, right? You made back return on investment. How? You made back your 50,000, which is your earlier investment into the money, into the business or into the ad, and then you made back some returns as per from sales. You made sales that were worth more than the amount you actually invested for your marketing. So that is return on investment, ROI. I hope I've been able to answer that, Victoria Charles. Subaya Kolawole Sanusi, can you give us the materials after the class? Yes, please. Who again as a question? How can we create content using digital marketing to make profits? How can we create content using digital marketing to make profits? This question is quite not clear. Creating content is, creating content is creating content. You have to be ready to create content because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of, a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, a lot of innovation. I'm using digital marketing. Question is quite not clear. I'm not really clear on the question. If you can state the question to be more clearer, probably I will understand. But as it stands now, I'm not so clear on it. What's the person's name that asked that question? Seraphine Modest, please. Okay, while you're trying to make that clear, let me just move on. So, if I'm too fast, let me know, please, so I can slow down. The first consideration is, who am I? Understanding the vision, mission, and value of the brand, right? It's very important. Who is the brand? Who is the brand selling to, right? What is my mission as a brand? What is my vision? What are the values of the brand, right? These are things that you want to actually look out for, or you actually want to ask yourself, or the business has to ask itself. Let's use the business now, probably not you. The next is, what do I offer? What does the business offer? Right? That's the products or the services. What are the unique selling points? What makes the business stand out from the competitors? What makes business A different from business B? What makes Coca-Cola different from Pepsi? Why should I choose Coca-Cola over Pepsi? It's a unique selling proposition, a unique selling point, anything that makes them unique, right? That differentiates them from the other persons that are actually doing the same thing. That differentiates the business from the other persons who are actually doing the same thing. Your unique selling point might maybe be your delivery service. Maybe you offer a particular business that most people are doing, but you offer more, your delivery service is authentic. You deliver things on time. You communicate properly if the things are going to be delayed. Customers do not have to wait so long, and customers are patronizing that business or patronizing you more because your delivery service is top notch. That might actually be your unique selling point. Another person's unique selling point might be pricing. The other might be selling something a bit more expensive, right? But he's selling his own a bit cheaper and still offers them good quality, right? Some other person's own might be maybe higher quality products compared to other people in the market. So it just depends, right? It depends on what you think what you have come up with as your own unique selling point for a business, right? The next is where am I? Where am I means understanding your position and that of your competitors in the market, right? I mentioned competitors earlier and I'm mentioning it again. You understand your position and that of your competitors. Let's say you're going into a market for the first time. Let's say you're going into a market for the first time. Let's say you're going into the market for the first time, right? You need to understand where your competitors are in the market. Okay, I'm coming into a space. Let's say, for instance, let me use a tech product now. I'm building a particular fintech product. Let's say I'm building a product called maybe Findal or whatever I call it. What's my product supposed to do? My product is supposed to help people to be able to easily carry out transactions online. How? Maybe my product is going to help people to be able to make payments for anything that has to do with payment online that has been giving people issues because other platforms do not work, or maybe my platform is there to help people convert airtime to cash if they mistakenly load airtime that is above what they were intended to load or recharge, right? So let's say that's my own business now, and there are other people in that particular line or that particular sector. Me coming into the market, I need to understand, okay, this is my position now. I'm just entering. These are my major competitors in the market. What is their own position? Are they far into it more than me, or are they still at the same level where I am? Can I overtake them within this particular period of time? Or will I struggle to actually make an impact because these guys are there because of this or that, right? So you know, okay, do my competitors have more funding or better funding? Who's marking my screen? My competitors have better funding than me that will limit me from actually going as far as they are. You see how you want to know where your competitors are and how you can actually do better, right? Now you understand your position, you understand that of your competitors in the market, and you have an insight into what your competitors are trying to do, and you're also going to do better. Now, the next one is your why, right? Why am I marketing online? Now, this is, let me say, for those who are probably business owners, right? It can be frustrating. I'll tell you of a truth, and I'll be very honest and very sincere. I'll be very honest with you. There's no hiding of anything, no matter how people try to sugarcoat it. Marketing or even doing business is hard, right? It's a very hard thing to do. It's a thing that you have to build over time. It's a thing that takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's painstaking, right? And the only thing that can actually continue to keep you in business or continue to keep you to not falling off the market when you face the challenges that actually come is your why. Your why has to be strong enough to keep you in business. Your why has to be strong enough to keep you from not falling off in your processes. You might be posting things, you might be doing everything you want to do. You carry your head and hit on the ground, you dance up and down, you do content, you do information content, you do everything you want to do, and it's looking as if nothing is working. You can have that particular, you definitely come across it. It can happen like that, right? Because theoretically, it looks like it works magic, but in practical, it works, but it takes some time, right? So you might be doing all of these things, and the next you say, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Let me rest. Let me rest for maybe 1 week or 1 month. From 1 week, that's gone to 1 month. From 1 month, that's gone to 1 year. And from 1 year, you're out of business, right? So your why has to be strong enough to keep you in business, to say, okay, it's okay to rest, but I have to continue, right? So that when you face the challenges that actually come, you might be able to actually stay in business. Next one is, who is my target market? Now, this one is very, 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 very important. We've been talking about target market here since we've been talking about businesses reaching to their target audience, right? You need to understand who your target markets are. If not, you end up wasting your marketing efforts and putting out things that are irrelevant to them, right? You need to know, who are my target market? Who are the people my business is targeting? Right? Who are the people that this business is supposed to reach out to? Where are they located? What am I supposed to do to get them? Who are my target market, right? What do they do? What do they need to do? What do I need to tell them? If not, you end up wasting your time. And how do you get your targeting market? Is by research. It's by researching your target market and by actually drafting a buyer persona so that you understand their needs and you can tailor your marketing efforts to actually suit their needs. You research your market. And the best way to mostly do this research, of course, the best way is to have maybe one-on-one conversations with these persons or be in their midst and be empathetic and put yourself in their shoes, right? And live their life. Understand the pain, understand the processes that they have gone through. One-on-one conversation is really the best because if you're conversing with someone, there is a tendency that they will explain better to you than probably when you're giving them a list of questions to answer in form. They just want to do it and get away with it, right? So it is always the best. Let's say, for instance, you want to market a diabetic product now. Let's say you want to market a product that cures diabetes, right? Or mitigates the risk of diabetes. And you probably don't know anything about diabetes before now. You've just been hearing a few things, probably read a few things online. Yes, those things you've read might probably give you some insight. But one of the best ways that you actually know exactly how people who are diabetic have actually felt is when you have conversations with someone who has actually gone through diabetes firsthand. They can tell you the kind of pains that they faced. They can tell you the kind of situations that they had to go through. They can tell you the kind of, probably even the kind of solutions that they tried out that did not work, right? So you want to be able to know these things at hand, right? And most of the best ways to do it is to actually have conversations with them. Now, maybe that might not also work. You might not have anybody to have conversations with them. You might also have to listen to these people in their places of communication. Probably have to join maybe communities that where these guys meet or hang out, join maybe their groups, go to probably Quora where people are asking questions regarding this kind of topics. You probably have to search for it and you find out what people are saying about it. From there, you can understand and have a better understanding of what these people are going through in what your target market are actually going through, so that you know exactly the kind of marketing efforts that you want to be putting out that will resonate with them and they will actually take it in and help you to build your business, right? Now, when these things, this of course, sometimes this might not be obtainable, right? And then that's also fine. It's not a must that you have to follow this. These are just probably the two best ways to do it, right? But it's not a must. And you might not have the capacity, you might not have the resources to actually probably pull this up. So you probably now have to do what we call the survey form, right? You do a survey. What's the survey meant to do? The survey is meant to ask people questions regarding the industry that you are actually driving in and to know exactly how they feel so that you can be able to draft a buyer persona that actually suits this particular set of persons, right? And there are various applications or various suits you can use to do a survey. There is Survey Has, the Survey Monkey. You can use the Google surveys, which is quite the easiest one to use, right? And we are going to probably do we're going to do a survey to ask certain people or find out certain requirements about a particular target audience in this class. But before we do that, let's just look at the stages of marketing online, right? Let's quickly look at this before we take that, go into that survey. Now we see here that if you, I don't know what, okay, someone should unmute so that I'm just talking. Someone should unmute and tell me what you see here and what you understand from this image that you can see. Yes, slide.
Okay, so the stages of marketing online. The first one is C. I might not be correct, but I'm just let me try. C. I think this is putting out your product online. Then the think could be that the people that have seen the product, they'll have to now make a buying decision to see if the product you're offering is something that would meet their need. Then doing is maybe the call to action. They will actually just buy. Then care. I think this is the customer service aspect where you as the person who is offering the service, you now go to the extent of checking to see how far your product is meeting their needs and maybe just checking up to see the progress of what you've sold. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next person, someone's hand is raised up. Gunosh Atai. Yeah.
For this task. I don't say my own opinion. I don't
I
know.
can barely hear you. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, better now.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say my opinion. I don't know it's correct or incorrect. I just want to try. I think the first stage is C. It means researching and try to see this way and try to know everything about this way and seeing one of the way to knowing and it maybe researching. Another thing is about think and think is the decisions stage. We should make decision that how we should start it and make a plan and think about our plan. After that, the time is time of implement. Do means implement. We should implement all of our knowledge, all of our plan and information on this stage. And the last stage is about care. When we start a work, it's not just about marketing, online marketing. Every work that we start and want to complete it, we should care about that way. We should every day try to learn new things and try to make new plan for make it for development this way. I don't know. It may be correct.
All right, thank you. Thank you. There are no wrong or right answers. Thank you so much. I appreciate the efforts and I appreciate you lending your voice to actually say your opinion, which is very fair, and I accept that. Musa Popola, yes, the next person, and now you should be the last person. I won't take any other hand. Yes.
I'm not really sure. I just want to try. So
Yeah,
I
just
think
try.
it is when you make your product known to the customer, when they see, when think is for them to learning the product, be having it just something that will make them continue to think about the product. Then is when they make action about it and start buying the product. Then care is just not only that you want to sell, you have to listen to them again, care about your customers too. Listen
Thank
to their
you. Thank you so much, Musa. Thank you. I appreciate. Okay, I'll take the last person, Adita or Toby. Your hand is up.
Sorry, I just actually want to try. I don't know if I'm correct or something. C, the first one is C, and according to my own understanding and knowledge, is you see, you are not the only one that have been in this the current situation before. I mean, you are not the first seller of the product. So you have to see, like, look into the market survey. According to me, the seeing aspect. Then the think aspect is you think differently of how to make out the best. Since you are not the first person that are into the plan before, so you have to think ahead of making the difference, like, and come out to be the best of them all. Then the do aspect is you have to, if I'll be correct, the do aspect is you have to take more action on you to know how to reach out to your people, like, make good friends with your customer, like take more action than how the people you met there before is doing. In time of you care for your people, you reach out to your people, you make new friends, so as to build a good relationship with your clients or your customer.
All
Then
right,
the
thank
key
you.
aspect is
Okay, oh, you're still, sorry, I thought you were done. Okay, go on, go on.
okay, and the key aspect is like someone has said you reach out to your after you have made good sales of your product, you reach out to them to know to know if you have reached out to meet their needs. So I think that's off for now.
Okay, thank you. That's Adeta, you could be right. You just finished speaking. I was saying you're going to be the last person, but I think more hands are up, and I'll need to give more people an opportunity to speak. So I have Emmanuel Ugochukwu, Peace Amaka, and Opeyemi Samuel Apara. These are the three people that are actually going to speak next. Any other person that will raise their hand, I don't think I'm going to take again. So Emmanuel Ugochukwu, yes, I think I saw your hand first.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I'm going to try.
Try.
Stages of marketing online. It could also be referred as stages of marketing online can also be referred as a marketing funnel.
Thank you. Okay.
Now, the C part has to do with you creating content that will make your product or brand or service visible to your target audience. At this point, you do not send any call to action or anything. You just want visibility. You just want your product or brand to get to as many people as possible. Now, the second stage, which is think, here you get to interact with your audience, maybe those who like the content and stuff like that. You get to generate, you take leads, you gather data of those customers who expressed interest or interacted with the content created earlier done. Then the two, I think it has to do with the action place, where maybe they take action, they purchase your product, or some of them attempted to buy, but so the care part is you getting feedback from the customer, both those who bought the product, to ascertain if truly your product was able to address the specific need you wanted to address, or to solve their specific problem. And on the other, those who couldn't access, those who couldn't purchase, you follow up to know the reason why the purchase failed on the line, and you know how to go about it. This is my little contribution. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Peace Amaka, you are the next person.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I just want to try and see if I can make something, I can say something relating to this. For the C aspect, when you see something like product that was published or that was brought up by other other of your marketing, opponents or that
competitors.
Yes, competitor. Then they think. I think it's when you start thinking on how to make your own unique and then they do is how you try to implement and try to send your own markets to the board. And then the case when those bought your goods and all of that, you try to reach out to them and you follow them up and see if they have any difficulties in trying to implement those stuffs they've learned from you. I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Opeyemi Samuel.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, actually, I don't have any knowledge about digital marketing. This is my first time. So when you are talking about digital marketing or stages of marketing online, these are step by.
Hello, I can't hear you. Hello, guys, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I think we lost Opeyemi.
How you are going to authenticate the veracity? Hello?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So when we are talking about C as a stage of marketing online, this is the first process whereby you authenticate the veracity of your standardized quality. Maybe it is the quality. Hello, can you hear me? Am I speaking?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Just please return. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can't you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, Opeyemi Samuel, I think your network is bad because I can hear you clearly.
Hello. Hello. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, that's
I think there's a lag in network from your end.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Opeyemi.
The network is okay. Yes. Can I move on?
Move on,
Hello?
please. Go on.
Okay. So the first thing when you authenticate, you see for yourself. Maybe the product is of is a standard good. Now the second stage which is take, you have to strategize the strategies in which you are going to adopt in marketing your products online.
Okay.
So the third one, in this place, you are going to sell your products and look for other things that any other person has not done that will make your product to be very, very unique. So here, the last one. This means you look for feedback, you consult your customers, maybe the good, what they are saying about your good, the positive impact of your good and the negative impact. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Opeyemi Samuel. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who contributed, who lended their voices to answer the question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And I think you all answered really, really well. Everybody had answers very well. There was always, everybody had the correct answer per se, right? Maybe some persons probably didn't answer as much as correctly as it should have been, but we all had a glimpse of the answer and I think it was quite understood, and I think the image is also quite understandable. So I will just move on. So if we look at this, Opeyemi, you can mute. Victoria Charles, you can also mute. Thank you. So if you look at this, right, these stages of marketing online, you will look at what, first of all, we'll start with the image, which is the shape. I think it was, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but it was a male that mentioned it. This is a funnel, right? And you know how a funnel is. A funnel is usually big at the top, and then as it comes down, it gets smaller. And from this, you can also see that it also gets large at the top and gets smaller as your marketing processes go on. Now, the C stage, like we all said, like most of the person said, is the stage where you are pushing out your marketing efforts for your customers to see, right? At that point in time, you're pushing out efforts, you're making awareness, you're making noise, you want your brand to be known, you want people to see your brand, you want people to see what you're selling, you want people to see what the business is all about. That's the C stage. And from it, it's always at the top of the funnel. And you can see that at the top of the funnel is very large. Why is it that large? Because a lot of people are going to be seeing your business at that point in time. A lot of people are going to be having their eyes into what you're doing. You're going to be visible to people. Your awareness is going to be reaching so many people, so many persons. And that's why it's the C stage, right? People are going to see. Many people are actually going to see it, right? Then we then stream down to the next stage, being the think stage. The think stage now, like you know, not everybody who sees your product are going to end up thinking about it. Let's say, for instance, I'm pushing out something online, right? I am pushing out something online. I'm selling probably a particular product that sell that. Yeah. Let's say, for instance, I'm selling a product that is for males. Let's say I'm selling beard oil to help males to improve their beards, like for instance. But at this stage, so many people are going to be seeing what I'm putting out, right? But the people who are going to be thinking about that product are people who need it, which is men who actually need the beard oil to improve their beards. I just use that as an instance round, right? So things stage is where people who have seen your product will start thinking about it. And you can see that as it goes down, it gets smaller, right? How did it get smaller? Because not everybody who saw your product would think about your products. Arasike in the Abiola, how can we get the attendance list? You're going to get the attendance before the end of the class. Just stay put and stay patient. Thank you. The think stage is where it gets lesser a bit because not everybody who saw your product will end up thinking about it. Now, after the think stage, we have the do stage. What's the do stage? Do stage is where people who have seen, who have thought about it will now do what? Take action. That's the stage where they now decide to say, okay, we want to buy. We have thought about this enough. We want to purchase the product. That's the do stage. And you see that it gets smaller because even at the end of the day, not everyone who thought about your product is going to actually make a purchase. Some of them will not be able to make the purchase because probably they do not have the financial capacity at the point in time, or there might be one restriction or the other, maybe location, maybe anything, right? Maybe even death, maybe sickness, anything can restrict some people who probably were thinking about buying your product or getting your product or service, and then they did not make it to the do stage. But the do stage is now where people take action, right? And most of you were so right? Most of you were so right about it. The care stage, which is the last stage, is the stage where you now care about them, like you all said, right? That's the stage where you now don't just throw them and shove them under the carpet because, okay, I've made the sales. To hell with you, you can go. No, that's the stage where you now find out, how is my product doing for you? How are you enjoying the dividends of this product? Are you benefiting from this product or not? Would you like us to make any change or any addition or any subtraction? Would you like to give us any review, right? You think you care for them at this particular point in time, right? You tell them, you want to show them that you care about you didn't just care about their money, but you also care about how they use the product and how best your product is actually serving them. From the care stage, you can actually upsell and cross-sell. Upsell means you can sell them another product that can complement the product that you sold to them before, right? Okay, let's say, for instance, I sell beard oil and someone has bought my beard oil and I went to them during the care stage, caring for them, finding out how they are doing, how my beard oil is working for them. If it works really fine, if they're enjoying the product. Depends on their feedback. I can decide to upsell by telling them that, oh, okay, the beard oil is working really fine, right? But you can also supplement it with this particular product. Somebody tried to do it to me just on Saturday. So I bought something from the lady. I bought a cream from her, a particular cream she sold to me one time, right? And when she saw me the next time, she was like, "Oh, how has that cream been working?" And I told her the cream it's just been there, I've been using it, but not as much as Then she was like, "Oh, okay, you can buy this one and add. If you add this one to it, it's going to help the product to boost its effectiveness and all of that, right?" She was trying to upsell to me at that point in time. I was already open to buying it, but I was like, I probably won't even use it, so there's no need, right? But from the care stage, you can begin to upsell, sell them something that can actually make that product become better. Or you can cross-sell. Cross-selling is okay. Sell them something different, right? That will still make their life better. So that's the care stage. C stage is where so many people are going to be seeing your brand, seeing what you're putting out. That is where you put out your marketing efforts, you create awareness, you make noise, you give people information, let them see you. We are everywhere, right? The think stage is where they are now thinking about your brand. They're now thinking about your product. Oh, they have seen a lot. They now think about it. The do stage is, okay, they are now taking action, right? And the care stage is care for them. C stage, think, do, care, right? At the C stage, you want to be everywhere. At the think stage as well, when they are thinking about your brand, that is the point where you want to be putting out stuff that is actually going to support what you've been putting out before, and that will help them to make a buying decision. You cannot really tell where the customer is at any of these stages, so you just have to keep doing it and keep putting out your effort, because you don't have like a customer list where you have, okay, this one is in the C stage, so it's in the think stage. No, right? They will all be at different stages in the marketing funnel, right? At any stage the customer is, you want to be ensured that you actually service it and meet their needs. Now take action. At this stage, you do not want them to start looking for you as a brand. They should not be hard. You should not be difficult to find at the do stage. You should not be difficult to find. If they want to make a purchase, if they search for you, they should be able to see your brand. They should be able to see your business and be able to make a purchase, right? You should not be scarce. If not, they'll probably take your money to someone else. Then the care stage is where you now do what? Care for them, where you now try to ensure that they use your products well and they are actually enjoying the benefits of the product, right? Do we understand this now? So most of us were right? Practically everybody was actually right with their answers. And I appreciate the fact that you all attempted to answer, right? So this is what the stages of marketing look like. Now, there's also the one, it's not written here, but I'm going to state it out so that we can also have it. If you have a pen and paper, you can jot it down somewhere, right? We have what we call the AIDA formula, right? AIDA, letter A, letter I, letter D, and letter A, right? Is more like the stage of marketing, but probably this time around, maybe a little more streamlined to content, a little more streamlined to content materials that you're going to be putting out, whatever kind of content, whether written, whether visual, right? You now want to be able to ensure that you use the AIDA formula to actually reach out to people. I'll explain what that is. The first A at the top is attention. Attention. Yeah, attention is the first thing. You want to be able to grasp their attention. Now, you know that, let me give practical examples. If you go to Instagram, right, and maybe you're on Instagram Reels, and you're probably seeing contents on Instagram. If you come across a content and it does not grasp your attention, what do? You swipe, right? And that's how it is now. You swipe. This content does not grasp my attention. You swipe. This one does not grab my attention. You swipe. Why? Because they did not grab your attention. So the first things first is that you want to be able to grasp people's attention with whatever you're putting out. That whatever they are seeing should make them stop, right? To want to check it out. Now that's for attention. So it has to be attention grabbing. Let me just type it. A-I-D. I'm typing it in the chat box, don't worry. A, so that you have it. A for attention. First, coming to it. Desire. A for action. Okay, it's there. So that's the first one, attention. And everybody's fighting for your attention, right? Practically everything is fighting for your attention at this moment. And the attention span of people now is very, very low. So you want to be able to grasp attention as quick as possible, right? Everybody's fighting for your attention. The different social media platforms are fighting for your attention. Instagram is fighting for you to be on Instagram. They are fighting for your attention. Twitter is fighting for you to be on Twitter. They are fighting for your attention. Same with TikTok, same with Facebook. All of them are fighting so that you have they grasp your attention. And is anyone that grasps your attention at any particular point in time that you stick to? That's why you hear some people say, I don't do much of Instagram. I do only Twitter. It's only Twitter I like the most. Because there's something in Twitter that is always that they are always giving their attention to. That's always been grabbing their attention. It has been working over time. Right? That's the first thing. Attention. The next one is interest. Interest is, it has to be what? Interesting. So this attention that you have grabbed, you've been able to successfully make them stop to see what you are actually showing them. The next thing now is it interesting enough to keep them? Say for instance, is a male and
Hello, I can't hear you anymore.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Mr. IB. Mr. IB, are you there?
We can't hear you.
I guess it was thrown out. Let's hold on for him to come back. It was thrown out on the meeting.
Hello, hello.
I think he's having network issues. I think he's having network issues.
Am I the only one not hearing you?
No,
Actually,
me too. I can't hear him too. I can't hear him too. I can't hear him too. What might be wrong? What might be wrong? I think it's network, sir.
Let's be patient. It was thrown out. It's not even his mic is muted. So maybe let's wait for him. He's not speaking at all.
Okay.
Mm,
So let's
okay.
just hold on now.
Or we can teach ourselves.
Yeah, now we can teach ourselves. No.
ourselves. There's no harm in trying.
We can just talk about the things he has said so far. Probably like a rundown or something.
Yes, because this class is interesting. Let's teach ourselves.
There's no harm in trying.
So does anyone want to go?
You can teach us now. Oh yeah, teach us.
Okay. How can we use
Mr. Ivy is back.
Okay.
I think he's
right?
back. Oh, not the one. Sorry.
The one is not the one.
How can we use digital marketing to make money? Like, how can I create something for another person that sells? I'm not the one selling. Then the person can pay me. What kind of content, business content, can I create?
Come again.
It depends. It depends. It depends on the product. It depends on the products that you are marketing. Say, for example, now Coca-Cola calls you now to like help them market their brand. You yourself should be a content creator in the first place. You can come up with any idea. Digital marketing are all these ads that we see everywhere. That is digital marketing. So you can come up with an idea. Probably you go to a restaurant, you're trying to eat, and then maybe you are asked, what do you want? Which of the drinks do you want? And you just say, don't you guys know the trendy drink in town? Give me Coke, Jerry. Something like that. It's just an example, though. It's now left to you to come up with the idea that will catch you have to do like audience survey. You need to know what the audience wants. We are in the world of Gen Z these days. You need to incubate words like slangs.
Okay, thank you
that
very
Gen
much.
Zs are used to. Hello?
Hello, can I say something?
Go on, say it.
Okay, the first thing first, you put yourself as though you are the owner of the business. Because even if you're a middleman, and you still need money. So people only will adhere to what you're saying based on the fact that they feel you know it, you've used it. Let's say, for example, we are going into a cream, a fashion, sorry, not really fashion, like a cosmetic industry. Number one thing they will ask is, you don't use them, like, have you used it? So number one, you're bringing out everything as though you are the one that owns it. And if it's a cosmetic or maybe a food, you affirm that you have used it. You are the first person that used it. And for content, if you don't really know how to bring out content, you can use ChatGPT. It's very easy to just help you. We are in technology era now. So that's what I have to say.
I think I want to contribute to what I agree with the two persons that spoke. If you look at the benefits of digital marketing, can you hear me?
You can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mr. said was that
I have a question.
hold on,
I
somebody.
can hear you.
Okay, so it helps brands to reach out to a wider audience and increases. So I'll give an instance. Udi Food on Instagram. She's a content creator, and people also, she sells her own products. But then you see that whenever Nigeria brand chief is hosting any brand fair, you see that they use her a lot. So as a digital marketer, I also believe that one of the ways you can make money is to be an influencer yourself. So even if you're selling Coca-Cola or you're selling land, you're actually an influencer. And I believe that you can stand out on any social media platform to say, okay, I render social and so services, and I can help your business to gain visibility with results. So it is just maybe influencing. You can become a content creator, as every other person said.
Okay, thank you. So please, when is the attendance list coming out? Who has idea?
Nobody knows.
class has not ended. They said 2 o'clock. Yeah.
2 o'clock.
I have a question. Can I say my
Let me ask
question?
my question.
Ask, ma. Ask.
Let me ask my question.
Okay,
Okay.
the thing is, I don't know if it's only me, but sometimes when doing this online marketing, they'll tell you put it on your status, either WhatsApp, then put it on Instagram, Twitter, you understand, or Facebook. But I get this issue of whenever I do that, people just comment, they just like. Nobody's asking how much, and the few that ask how much, they are just asking for asking sake. I don't know. How do I use, because sometimes you have like let's say 80 likes, and I'm like, why is this 80 like not turning to, okay, how much is your product, what do I do to get, you get, I don't know. How do I turn that instead of the thumbs up and the love emoji to real conversation of business?
Okay. Okay.
Now, let me ask
Let
my
me just
question. Let me ask my question.
quickly answer that question. From the little experience I have, I used to work with a company as a customer service rep, you understand? And so a lot of times we'll put stuff on our page. You realize that you get a lot of likes. But one of the things that I realized is it depends on the platform you're using. For instance, the company I was working for, yeah, they didn't like to use Facebook because they felt Facebook was like a local market, while Instagram is like what would I call it? Be a market like ShopRite where you go and you're not pricing, you're coming there because you get. So one of the things I realized is just look for a platform you feel that your target audience is, and then when you're doing your ads, streamline your ads to a specific group of people. You know, when you're doing your ads, you have to say all of those questions. I think you can narrow it down to your target audience that fits your avatar. You get, so maybe look for, don't go on all platforms. That type of people are not, or why not stick with Instagram? So pick a platform that you feel will thrive for you and put in the hard work, because at the end of the day, before you make a sale, if you're in an open space market, you actually have to put in your work. Sometimes even the product, I mean the content that you posted that will bring the customer. It is just the right target audience. I think, well, that's the only thing I can say.
Please, are we just 100 in this group? Are we just 100 in this class?
Hello guys, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi. Welcome back.
Sorry, I got knocked out by the network. So sorry. Nigeria now, you understand.
You too, you need to do them undertaker now.
Where now? People will get power past me.
We've been treating ourselves, sir.
Yes, I've been here for like 3 minutes or so, and I was listening to you guys. I heard somebody asking that she keeps putting things and she only gets likes and maybe comments and no question on that will return or revolve to sales. I think that was the question. I heard somebody ask that. Who asked that question, Seth?
I did.
Yeah. So what we call those things that you get is vanity metrics. You know, some businesses focus a lot on vanity metrics. What are vanity metrics? Sales, likes, comments. Sometimes we even classify followers as even vanity metrics, because sometimes you might have large followers and you're not making money. So vanity metrics. What businesses want to see is engagement, right? You want to make sure that your efforts are turning out to become money, to give you People are, the major thing is you want to have people asking how to buy and also lead, and whatever questions they are asking should be leading to sales. So, and I also listened to the person who was giving you an answer, and to be quite frank, she was also correct. That's why you need to do your customer research. That's why you need to know exactly your target market, right? It will inform what you're going to be putting out. It will inform how you're also going to be putting it out, how you're going to be touching their pain points that will make them want to buy. You will also know what particular platform that you should focus on, right? From your own studies and your own research, you will know, okay, this is where my target audience will most likely be. So this is where I should probably focus my effort on, than trying to do everywhere at the same time or being in the wrong place where you're not going to be getting what you actually want to get out of the market, right? So those are some of the issues that happen in the market. They are inevitable per se, and most businesses struggle with this kind of stuff. But like she stated to you, right? She was correct, although she was not confident in the way she was saying it, but she was correct. You also need to know which platform or which particular place are your target audience the most. Where are your target market located? That's where you're going to be able to hit them on the hit the nail on the head. And then you're also supposed to know what kind of conversations are these people looking out to listen to, what kind of things they like to see, what kind of things or what kind of content will most likely push them to actually get my product. And most times, customers will mostly buy from brands that they feel that they know their audience. Look at brands that give most of the informational content that people like, that people hold on to. So most of the small businesses that give a lot of informational content, people are most likely to purchase from them because they believe that they know their audience. You are solving a problem first, right? You're giving them information on how to solve problems. The more they see that you are giving them information about this particular thing, about this particular sector, the more they think, or the more they know that, okay, you're knowledgeable in this particular thing. So when they need that solution, the more likely they will come to you, because you're not only just going to be selling to them, you probably also be selling and telling them how best or how they can make the best use of it, or how they can get the best outcome from that particular product that they are buying, or that particular service that you're going to be rendering to them. So that is on that, right? I just said I should brush on that before I move on to where we stopped. Are we good?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
Good.
Can I ask?
Yes, ask.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask a question based on the four acronyms you gave us. AIDA. The first one, attention. Am I right?
Yes.
So you said that when you try to when they fail to grasp your attention, and you keep on trying, won't you get tired?
To do what? To capture the
when
attention?
When you are trying to market your product, and you said the first one, attention, you try to draw the attention of people, and they fail to grasp your attention. You try it the first time, the second time, the third time, and it doesn't work. You said, won't you get tired?
Please, can I answer the question?
And you said you
who wants to answer? Sarafin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, answer.
Like I said, business is hard. So you have, before you engage in such business, you're supposed to know that everything must not work out for you. So maybe you keep trying. It's your own personal effort to be motivated.
Okay.
So even if you fail, you give up, you take a break, you start again.
Okay.
Business
You swap again, right?
You start again.
Okay.
Okay, Opeyemi Samuel, right? You're the person that asked that question. If you are not grabbing their attention, you are probably doing things wrong. You're probably not getting it. So you need to find out what is actually going to grab their attention, what will call them out, right? What will make them stop. And I'll tell you one thing that mostly works: negativity. Negativity works a lot, right? People are more inclined to listen to something when it is about when it's going to bring, or when it is preaching about a negative outcome, than when you are preaching about something positive. This is just an instance, right? If I tell you that the financial status of let's say Nigeria will improve by so and so percent within the next so and so months, you just move on. Like, you even want to listen to me. You move. But if I say that the financial status of Nigeria will get worse and Nigeria will be heading into depression by in the next 6 months, people will stop and want to hear what I have to say. People will most likely pause when it is something negative that you're pushing out, than when it is something positive. Take, for instance, certain content like you have been doing this thing wrong, right? Have you been doing this one particular thing? You've been doing it wrong. People will most likely stop. So I've been doing this thing wrong. What have I been doing wrong? And they want to listen to it, right? So those are the kind of things you want. Never do this kind of, or these are the things that you should never do. You know, people are more inclined to stop. So you want to find out exactly what you want to tell these people that will make them stop and you get their attention.
Yes.
Right? Now, this is for written content. For video content, you can do it quite differently. For any other visual, you can do it quite differently. There are always different ways you can do all of these stuff, right? And you can always find a way. If you're not doing it, if you're not getting their attention, it means that you're not actually getting it right. You have to, strategize and how to actually get it right. That's why you have your competitors. Look at your competitors. We talked about competitors here, and you have to do competitive research. You look at your competitors. What are my competitors doing right? Because we are in a space that is not only you that is there. You're going to be traveling with other people. What are these people doing that I am not doing? What are they putting out that I am not putting out? Or why are they doing it differently that they are actually getting what they are getting and I am not getting it, right? You look at those particular things and you look at what they are doing and you implement it. Yeah, I forgot to say this and I'm going to say it now. I forgot to say it, I'm going to say it now, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's a book I read and it's titled How to Steal Like an Artist, right? And the author said something that is very, very important. Just copy what is working, right? And make it original to your own. Don't go and start it because something is working already. There's no need for you to start reinventing the wheel to make something look afresh, right? Yes, it's good to be innovative, but even the innovations come from already existing products, already existing things that have been existing. There's nothing that is new under the sun, right? If, let's say, for instance, you are doing project work now. Let me use projects. Let's say you are doing project work now. You are doing projects. If you copy from one source and just drop it there for your supervisor, and it goes through this thing, they'll say it's what? Plagiarism, Abby, because you copied from one source. But if you copy from different sources and you rightly give them their reference, it is now what? Research. So you just have to understand that you can pull things from different sources. Oh, this people, look at what they are doing. They are doing well. You collect what they are doing. So look at what they are doing. They are doing well. You tap from what they are doing. This is what they look at. They are doing. You tap, and then you make it original and make it your own, right? So that people do not know that it is exactly this person that you're copying from. Let's look, for instance, now. Let's look at the world of football now. If a player is playing like Messi, or they have players that they have attributed to be the next Messi or the next Ronaldo, right? Because they feel like this person has the qualities of this particular player per se. So people are not giving you the originality that you deserve. They are giving you based on a photocopy of an already existing player. But there are players like Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. Nobody refers to them as the next Messi or the next Ronaldo. They are in a world of their own. But these players still copy stuff from other players that are already existing. They still have stuff that they still probably watch videos from former players that play football and copy what they do and mix it along with their own, make it original, and they are now known as themselves. right? So it's practically the same thing in a business. So look for what is working. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, right? Look for what is working, what others are doing that is working, and try to implement it in your own, but make it very, very original so that you are yourself and you are unique.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I think I've answered that question.
Yeah.
So let me move on. Khadija Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Khadija Ibrahim. So you're going to do me a favor.
What's that?
You are the host at this moment. And since you are the host, I can't do anything without your permission. So
Okay.
as I got knocked out, you became the host. So kindly make me a host, right? So that I can be able to share my screen and do what I need to do.
Okay, that's IP.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I was talking about the AIDA formula, right? Where am I on that?
Attention, attention.
Please.
Stop that attention.
Am I still at attention? I thought I've gotten to
Yes.
No,
attention.
you're at
Stop that
interest.
attention.
You're at interest. You've gotten to interest.
Attention.
Okay.
Mommy.
So attention, I've spoken about attention. Interest is okay. Now, are they going to be interested in what they are seeing? I was giving an example. Let's say you went to Instagram, you saw a video that popped up on your screen. The first thing you saw on the video caught your attention. You stopped immediately, right? You wanted to now watch the video. And while you're watching the video, you don't find anything interesting. What do? You swipe over to the next. Maybe the first 10 seconds of the video is not interesting. It's not as interesting as what you thought you were going to get when you grabbed your attention. What do? You swipe. So that's the same thing with human beings, and that's how human beings behave. So if you want to actually push out your content, first of all, you have to grab their attention. And after grabbing their attention, you have to make sure that you keep them interested, right? Whatever you're writing, whatever they are watching, should be keeping them interested. They should be interested in wanting to see down till the end. Then the next one is desire. Now, you've managed to get their attention. You've managed to get them interested. They've been interested. It has been interesting to them. Are they going to desire what you are selling? Are they desire what you're offering, right? What will make them desire what you're offering at that particular point in time, right? Is it that the product is offering them something special that no other product has offered them before? Or is it that you're offering them a guarantee? Is it that you're offering them something that is too good an offer to resist? Or is it just the product generally that is desirable? Like everything you said or everything they've been able to see, they've been able to come to the logical conclusion that they desire this product, like they need this product. They actually do need it. They really need it, right? So that's now the desire part of it. Then the last part is action. So the last part is, okay, you've gotten their attention, they've been interested, they've desired your product, now they want it, right? So the next thing is action. Give them a place where they have to take action. Okay, they should make a purchase. Okay, they should send a message. Okay, they should contact the person, support team, right? That's the action that you actually want them to take, and they should be able to take the action. So these are the four steps that you can actually use to actually drill people in to get whatever you're offering, right? A for attention, I for interest, D for desire, and A for action. Attention, interesting, desire, and action. So you should, if you succeed in doing all of these four, then you have eventually succeeded in actually selling anything that you're offering. Now, the action part can be quite tricky because sometimes you might have gotten your attention right, you might have gotten your interest right, you might have also gotten the desire part right. I'm a very realistic person. I like to be very realistic, and I like to also be very, very honest with whatever I'm saying, right? So maybe they get to desire part. Now, while I say it's quite tricky, is because maybe they've seen all these things and they now desire your products. 30 minutes break is by 12. We'll go the break by 12:30, please. 12:30, Safin. So they've seen all these things, they've desired what you are selling, they've desired everything that they've gotten to the desired part. But the time to take action now comes, right? But because maybe they have some limitations now, maybe financially not capable at the moment, they don't have the financial strength at the moment, right? Maybe one thing or the other is restricting them from actually taking that action. So that can be the case for the action part. Does it mean you failed? Not really. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means that you probably maybe didn't target the right set of people that have the capacity to actually get what you want or what you're selling, right? So the desire part now, where some brands make people desire a product, they'll say, okay, after you've probably discover you giving you so many good reasons and so many reasons why you need that product and how the product is going to make your life better and how your life will look worse if you don't have that product, right? People brands do that a lot. And then the desire part, they can now say, okay, they're offering you a so and so amount of so and so percentage, so it's a guarantee of maybe so and so number of time, a money back guarantee. Sometimes if you don't enjoy it within this particular time, send your money back. All those kind of guarantees that can make people want to desire something the more, right? Can be okay. Give discounts, or can be discounts because you are giving a discount on this for this first set of people or the first so and so number of people that will actually buy this thing, right? Because you need to capitalize on all of these things. Yeah, so I know that some of the things I'm saying are not here, but sometimes they pop into my head and I also have to share them with you because they are very vital information that you need to know about. Now, the next thing I'm also going to tell you now, before we move on, is the thing you want to play on, right? Now, it's a fact, and I'll tell you, that it's a fact that people will most likely buy more with their emotions than with their intellect, right? If people see a product, if someone sees a product, if someone sees a service, the first things first is their emotions. So what you want to target first or what you want to appeal to first is the emotions of people. No matter even if it's a high-ticket product, high-ticket products are products that are expensive, right? That are not like maybe normal products, normal product that people can easily put that money to buy. High-ticket products that maybe people have to think about it over and over and over again. Products that cost, let's say, maybe range between maybe a good amount of money. Let's just say 500,000 naira upward. Right? Those are high-ticket products. But even with the high-ticket products, you first want to appeal to their emotions, right? It is their emotions that will now first think with their emotions. Oh, I love this thing. Oh, wow, this thing is going to make my life better. Oh, I need this thing, right? And from the emotions, they can now, if it's now a high-ticket product, that's what they now begin to think of, okay, the monetary aspect of it, the financial implications and all of those stuff. So businesses thrive, businesses that thrive, that sell a lot of good products, thrive on the emotions of their buyers, right? Or of the people that they are actually reaching out to. I'll give you some examples now. I will use the financial niche. The financial niche uses greed. Greed, yes. And I know some of you might not agree with me, but I'll say it. If financial company comes and tells you, yes, it might be legit, but they're telling you that you need to invest your money with them, and your money is going to grow by so and so percent. You're going to get a so and so percent return on investment when you put in your money with them, right? Rightly so. What will make you? Please keep your mics mute, please. I've muted you, Chuku Godson. Please, nobody should mute again. Just thoughts what I'm about to say, please. So, what was I saying now? Oh, this person has muted again. Yes, you will get the soft copy. So, I was talking about the emotions, right? Greed. So what will make you say, okay, if I put my money here, I'm going to get so and so return on investment in so and so number of time? It's greed. The greed that you don't have to work for that money. Your money is just going to be done, it's going to grow for you. Okay, let me say the financial now is maybe too far off. Let's use the betting companies now. Bet Colony, Sporty Bets, Bet Niger. Yeah. What makes people play bets if not greed? Right? It's greed. Because you want to use 1,000 naira to win 150,000. You want to use 1,000 naira to win 2 million naira. Is it not greed? That's greed. Very big greed. But is the business thriving? It's thriving. Is it a profitable business to the owners? It's profitable. But it's what? It's greed on the part of the people who are actually purchasing those services. So yes, greed is one emotion that some industries use, right? And another thing can be fear. Fear, right? Fear. The health niche uses this as well. Yes, somebody in the health sector now might not agree with me, but it's the truth, right? It's fear. Okay. Yes, the truth is that what the doctor is telling you is true. What a Aproko doctor is telling you, let me use Aproko doctor now. What a Aproko doctor is telling you that if you do not do this thing, right? Who wants to give me code? Optimum. What a Aproko doctor is telling you now is that if you do not do this thing like this, you will end up having this particular effect later in the future, or you end up dying, or this one. What will make you run to the hospital or run to a doctor to actually get that inserted is the fear. The fear of not doing what? Not having to get the adverse effects of whatever. The fear of not losing your life, right? So tell me, is that not fear? That's fear. That's an emotion that people use. Fear can also be fear of missing out. Most brands do this one as well. The fear of missing out. People have what they call fear of missing out, FOMO. You might see it in some places written as FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. That one, anybody, any business can use it, right? People, human beings generally want to buy what other people are buying, want to partake in what other people are doing what, getting. It's just an emotional thing that actually happens. People want to be in the same space where other people are. So the moment they have that sense of they are going to miss out on this thing, if it doesn't happen, they begin to find ways to take drastic action. Let's say, for instance, somebody is selling a product and they are giving you a time frame that between this time to this time, we are selling this product at this particular discount. Say maybe they are giving a 50% discount for a particular product, a 50% slash for a product, and they're telling you this offer is going to last between now and tomorrow, 12 p.m., right? People will want to rush to buy that product. Why? Because they don't want to miss out on that discount. It's more like a one in the lifetime opportunity for them. Jumia makes more sales in Black Friday. Why? Because people do not want to miss out on Black Friday because they believe that they are going to get things at a discounted rate. Some websites you go, you see timer, and they'll put timer on this website so that you can see the time. And yes, people are also very funny. Like me, I can go there, I can see this and say, okay, there's still time. I will go back and I want to come back and do that thing on deadline. Some people want to do things on deadline. Some people will now come back after the deadline, right? And one thing I always advise businesses is that, yes, as much as, okay, someone asked me this question in one of my classes one time. She said, what if you do a discount sale and people come back after the discount? Maybe you say it's supposed to end by 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and people now come after 12 and they start begging you. You see them start begging you, please, 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 I didn't know it was late, and they start begging you. Should you sell to them, right? Because they say asking for it. Of course, you're a business, you need money. I understand, right? But I advise against that, because what you want to do is show them that, yes, they have missed out on this stuff, right? No, we are not selling anymore. if the offer is closed, it has returned back to this amount. It shows that your business has a reputation, you have credibility, and you stick to your word, right? And it also makes sure that next time when they see an offer from your business, they will rush it without thinking about it twice because they missed out on one time, right? So I always give this advice. So yeah, there's also the fear of missing out from people. That's also, I've talked about how many emotions now: to greed, fear. You can also play with anger. Some people use anger towards the system. Politicians use this one a lot when they want to get people to vote for, because it's still a market that they are coming into, right? They say anger for the former administration, anger for this one. They channel the anger to other people. Some businesses will tell you it is because the big pharmacies do not want you to know that you can actually cure this particular thing. That is why they are hiding it from you, right? That's anger and blame at the same time, because they want you to be angry that big pharmacies are hiding a solution from you that can solve your problem, and blame because they're now blaming the big pharmacies for not showing you that particular solution, right? So these are things that you actually want to drive upon to actually make your sales, right? I hope we are getting all of these things I am saying, because they are not on this slide, but as they are popping into my head, they are also very vital information that I have to share with you, because they will also be very, very important in helping your thinking process whenever you're trying to think about strategies or trying to think about ways to actually push out or promote products or services. I hope we are getting this stuff. Yes, one more thing just entered my head now. Yes, one more just popped in. The different, we talk about stages of marketing online, and now we also want to talk about the different stages of a buyer, right? Or the different awareness level. Yes, it's called awareness level. The different awareness level of buyers of a product now, or customers. We have about four awareness levels. I'm not so sure, but let me just mention them as they're popping in. The first level are the unaware audience or unaware customer level. Who are the unaware people? The unaware people are people that do not know that they even have a problem, not to talk of a solution, right? They don't even know that they have a problem, and there is an audience like that. I'll give you an instance now. If you are somebody that follows a doctor very well, you find out that once in your life you must have fallen into the unaware audience. Like, okay, let me use myself for an instance. There was a time a doctor was showing us how urine should look like normally, right? And he showed the main color of how the color of urine should look like. He showed when you are lacking water in your system, and he shows when there's too much water in your system. I never knew that there was anything like when you have too much water in your system, that is not so good. At that particular time, I was in the unaware level or in the unaware audience because I never knew about it. And there are those people in certain businesses that are also unaware of even their problem. They are unaware that they have a particular problem, right? You've probably bumped at something before. Maybe you were online, you were going through something, and suddenly you saw something that it is actually happening to you, but you never knew that it is a problem. I don't know if this has happened to anybody before. If it has happened to you, just type something in the, or just do and give me an emoji in the comments, in the chat section, right? If it has happened to you before, because I think it has happened to me. I just came across something and I never knew that it was a problem. I have that thing. I've been seeing it as normal, as regular. I never knew it was a problem. I was at an unawareness level. I will still use a doctor again. This thing that we usually turn our necks and the thing will do crack, yeah, you know, twisting neck and breaking bone. I never knew that it was a problem and that you could damage some blood vessels on your neck, right? Even though I still fall for the temptation of doing it because it's something I've been doing since childhood. Coming to tell me now that I'm an adult that it's damaging my blood vessels. No, it's something that they did not, it has been inculcated in me from childhood. It's going to be very difficult to stop, right? But that I was unaware that that's a problem, and that's my level now. So they have the unaware level. Those people, you want to tell them that this is your problem. I have to be fast so we can go on the break. Then the next level is I'll finish this before we go on the break. The next level is the problem aware level, right? These ones now, they know they have a problem. They are aware that they have a problem, but they do not know of the solution to solve their problem. We've talked about unaware level. The next one is aware. They are the problem awareness level. They are aware that they have a problem, but they don't know that there's a solution for their problem. Right? That's a different section of the market. Then we have the third people who are the problem aware and solution aware. These ones know that they have a problem. They know that there's a solution for their problem, right? But they do not know which solution to use. That's the third awareness level. They know they have a problem. They know, yes, that there's a problem. They know they have a problem. They know there's a solution, but they do not know which particular solution to use, right? Now, that's also a different level. And then we now have the other level, which is the Ogapatapata of them all, which I don't even know how to classify them, but those ones are the strong part of it. Those ones are problem aware, right? They are aware they have a problem. They are aware that there is a solution to their problem. In fact, they have tried various solutions, right? These people have tried various solutions, and most of them have not worked. Now, these people are these are the awareness or the audience sets that is going to be it's very difficult to actually convince to actually buy a product or service that you're ready. You have to give them something extra. These are the ones that people go extra mile, giving them money back guarantees, giving them several guarantees to assure them or kill that objection, because the objection now is, I have tried different products. They told me everything that you're telling me. So what is going to make your own different from the rest that I have tried, right? What makes your own different, right? So this kind of that other awareness level is the very strong awareness level where you have to do more work, right? So I mentioned four, right? The unaware, the problem aware, the problem and solution aware, and the ones who have the multiple solution aware. These ones have used multiple solutions. They know the problem. They have used multiple solutions, but they do not know how to solve it, right? And these are the four awareness levels you need to understand, and you need to treat them differently whenever you're trying to push out the product or you're trying to market something, because it will always respond to the market differently. So it's 12:30 already. We'll have to go on a 30 minutes break now. If you have any questions, keep it. When we come back from the break, you can answer, right? And when we come back from the break, we're going to do the survey on how to do your customer research, or the kind of questions you want to ask your customers, where for you to know exactly the kind of the customer base that you are targeting. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Ivy, thank you. That's fine.
All right. So from now till 1 p.m., we'll be back.
All right, thank you.
will. Okay. Yes. So we want to do a survey now to maybe find out what a potential customer would actually be looking out for. So what I'm doing today. So very quick. So we are going to use Google Forms as our own survey, right? There are different platforms. There's SurveyMonkey, and there are different survey platforms that you can get surveys from, but we will be using the Google Form. So I will share my screen shortly. Just hold on. All right, I hope you can see my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, just a moment, please. Just a moment. Just give me a minute. Something. Okay, yeah. So this is Google Chrome browser, as we all know. Mine is in dark mode, so don't mind it. I always like dark mode. So we are going to access the Google Forms. We go here. Look at where my mouse went to. You go to the top side of your screen, right? And you go to this Google Apps. You can see Google Apps there. It is a 6 dots that forms a square, right? You click on it. So this is Google Apps. Google Apps are all the apps that Google has. And we know that Google has various products. Google is a company that has various products, from the Google My Business Profile Manager to Google Maps to YouTube to Play Store, Gmail, Google News, Google Meet, Google Chats, to Google Contacts to save contacts, Google Drive to store every information you want to store, right? Calendar, translate photos, shopping, name it, right? All owned by Google. Google Docs, which is a Google document, which I prefer to Microsoft document. I don't know if people still use Microsoft Word. For me, it's always Google Docs I use. For me, it's better, more flexible, and more collaborative, right? Because I can be working on a document and somebody else can be working on it as well. Google Sheets as well, right? Google Ads, all of it, name it, right? So they have various Google products, but we are looking for the Google Forms, since that's what we're going to be using for our survey. So scroll down and we'll look at this place where we have Google Forms, right? So click on Forms. Look at it. Forms at the bottom. At the last three, you're going to see Google Forms. For those of us who probably have never used this before, right? And those who have used it before probably be conversant with a whole lot of it. Now, they have already existing templates, right? You can see contact information, you can see t-shirt sign up, you can see RSVP, you can see party invites, right? These are templates that have already been done on this stuff on Google by Google themselves. You can see various other forms that I have opened over time, right? right? We now want to start a blank form. We want to start from a very clean slate, something empty, something fresh, something new. So we'll click on blank form, which is that very first one with the cross at the top. Right. So the first things first is we want to title our survey. It's a form, but for us it's a survey because we want to use it to ask people questions on the particular aspect of business that we are trying to solve, right? So what business are we going to be looking at now? That's the very first question. That will determine the title and the kind of questions that we are going to ask. So, any suggestions? Piggery. Piggery. Real estate, Margaret. Okay. More suggestions. I've seen piggery, I've seen real estate. Any other suggestion? Fine. I pick book club, cosmetic, food, fashion store, bakery, baby essentials, pastries. Okay. Organic farming. Restaurant. Okay. Confectionery. Okay. Let's look at it this way. So it seems like the onus now lies on me to pick at random what we should do, because everybody has different suggestions. So let's see. Let me scroll up and see. Baby essentials. Obianuchu. Baby essentials. Okay. This is for newlywed parents. Okay, let's do baby essentials. That's like a different. So we now have to title this, right? We're doing baby essentials. Hope you guys agree. Okay. Baby essentials. All right. Okay, so we have to title this now. But we cannot call it form or anything. Let's look for a name to keep this title. Something that makes sense, that also helps them understand that you're trying to solve their problem. Because you're trying to solve their problem now. It's not like you're trying to take, so you want to ensure that you are giving them value. Ibuchi Mara, did you just join the class from the break? If you just joined, you probably don't know how I got here, then you have to watch the video. So let's title this. Let me first of all check what baby essentials are before I jump into this thing. Let me check what baby essentials are. Or what is her name? Can you tell me? But the rest of us, I'm coming. Baby essentials, okay, diapers, clothing, thermometer, wipes, cream, just to be sure. I don't have baby yet, so I don't know. Can we do this on our phones? Yes, you can do it on your phone. It's quite difficult, but you can do it on your phone. So baby essentials are to help baby stay healthy, if I'm not mistaken. Obianuju, please. I mean, is it Obianuju? Be sure that I'm calling the right name. Person that I should try and have
Yes, you're correct, sir.
Rafin, try and rest in Jesus' name. So yes, Obianuju, right? Sorry. Is for making babies healthy, right? Just before I give this thing a title.
Yes, it's basically the things that newborn babies need, like their clothing, their diapers, their rockers, all those things that they need.
Okay. So you can call this keeping your baby healthy. So let's say we call this, right? This is the title now. This is just off the top of my head, right? So let's say this is the title. And we have to describe the form. The describing of the form now is you telling them what they are expected to see, because people read from the top to the down. Even if they are skimming, they will still read the description. So you have to now tell them exactly what you want. So we can say this survey is meant to, okay. This survey is intended to know how best we can help your newborn, your new baby, your newborn. Who is on mute? Please mute. Your baby healthy, offering them the right essentials. Notice what I did there. It's very short, very straight, very direct, straight to the point, clear and understandable. Whose mic is on? Victoria Charles, hold on, I'm coming. I'll pick all of you. All of you that are lost on the way, I'm coming to pick you up now. Okay, fine. I can see that a lot of people are saying they don't understand how we got here. They don't know what happened here. How did I get here, right? Fine. This is how I got here. This is a Google form. Like I said, if you want to do a survey, you want to find out how your customers or what your customers need. You want to find out what your customers need so that you can be able to help solve their problem, right? You have to, since you cannot meet most of them one-on-one, have conversation with the larger majority of them, you now have to use a survey. A survey is more like finding out what a section of the audience wants that can inform how you know your best customer. And because definitely there will be similarities amongst your customer base, right? So we are not saying that every new baby or every newborn must be able to fill this thing. It's now more like, okay, a few field, right? But out of the few, you can use what the few field to determine how the rest will behave or the characteristics of the rest. Yes, you can do it on your phone, Sarafin. You can do it on your phone, but you have to go to Chrome browser and type Google Forms and start from there. So how we got here now, for people that don't know, let me start afresh. You open your Chrome browser if you're using Chrome, because we are using Google Forms. You open your Chrome browser, right? Your Google Chrome browser, which is what I have just opened here now, right? This is the home page. And you come to this place. Please pay attention where you have this Google Apps, where you have this this box that is made up of dots, made up of 9 dots, right? When you click on it, and you see the different Google products, the different Google apps, which is what we can all see here from your account to Google search, Google My Business, Maps, and all whatnot, right? But we're looking for Google Forms. So what you have to do is you scroll down, which is what we did, and we went to Forms. You can see Forms at the bottom of the screen, right? And then you click on Forms, and the Forms opened up, right? Once you click on Forms and Forms open, this is what you're going to see. Let me click on it, let it open. Once you click on Forms, this is what you're going to see. If you have not opened a new form before, this is what you're going to see for the very first time, and then you're going to see their template. But we are starting from scratch. We're not using their template. So you simply click on blank form, right? And when you click on blank form, they now give you this form that we are using now. And we are beginning to edit the form to suit the questions that we want to ask. I hope you've gotten that now. Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is N/B. We are trying to give them a little disclaimer. Note, right? Every information provided in this survey will be treated with confidential. That English is too big. Let me not use big grammar. Every information provided in this survey
Can you make it a little bold? I can't see from here.
You can't see. This is the default, what's it called now? The default font size. Oh.
Let her use glasses. When I play, I dey play.
This is the default font size. I can't make it bold at the moment. But except you want me to make everything bold, which is not wise. If I make everything bold now, this how it's going to look like. It doesn't make any sense. So it's just a few things that need to be bold, like maybe this one. I can make this bold, and this disclaimer that I have to make bold. But you'll probably see, don't worry. Except you're using a phone. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's proceed, please. She should do that now. So let's proceed, right? Every information provided in this survey will be used. People see when you distort my thought process like this is what happens. Because sometimes things are just coming into the head and I have to start thinking of it again. Every information provided in this survey will be used strictly, okay, the intended purpose. Used strictly for the intended purpose and would not be disclosed to any third party without your permission. Okay, so this is just like, okay, making them have peace of mind that, okay, any information you're providing to me, providing to us, we are going to use it for the purpose at which we are using it for, right? And, you know, practically that's just it, right? And you can see that they said the form is automatically collecting emails from all respondents. Okay, I think I want that. That's good for me. Now we have this part of the form. Let me click on outside. Now this is where the questions are. This is where you now start writing your questions. And we want the questions to be short, direct, easy to answer, right? Because first of all, I'll say these things. They don't owe us a duty to answer our questions, right? They are not under compulsion to answer, right? They are more or less doing you a favor, in as much as they are also doing themselves some good because you're going to know how to service them. But it is you they are doing more of the favor because you are the one who needs it. You're the one who wants to target them, right? So they are doing you a favor. So your questions have to be direct and straight to the point. They don't have to be confused. If not, they will not feel it. If not, they will immediately leave it. So you want something that straight to the point, tap, 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 they give you answers. Yes, you still have a point where they have to give you some valid explanation, because if you're having a conversation with somebody, you definitely have talks where the person has to explain themselves. But I'm just trying to lay the foundation of how this should look. Now, this is where you select your options for your question. We have multiple choice. Multiple choice is where you give them multiple choice questions where they now have to select one answer. We have checkboxes. Checkboxes is where you give them various choices, but they have to select more than one choice. Like they can select more than one choice at a time, right? We now have paragraph, which is the big long paragraph, which is where they can write very long text, right? They can express themselves. We have short answer. Short answer is where they give you short answers, not too long. Drop down is like a drop down where they have to click on the drop down and select an answer. We don't mostly not use most of this one. Linear scale is like on a scale. You say on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of this to this. Multiple choice grid, checkbox grid is more like a grid of the same checkbox and multiple choice, right? Then there's file upload. We are just going to see this as we agree, as we progress. There's no need to start looking at them one by one. So let's start with the first question. The first question, what would you think would be the best question to start with first? Yeah, somebody answer me. Remember, who are we? First of all, who are the people who are mostly likely going to fill this form? That's the first thing you should think about. Who are the people that will most likely fill this form? One.
Yes.
Sorry? Oh, then would you see this name of prospects?
So women fill the form.
Pregnant
Yes.
women, newborn mothers.
Pregnant
women.
Newborn women, married women. So are we saying that it's only women that are going to fill this form?
Men too can fill the form.
Well, I think you scarcely see men.
Okay. So that answers the question. So the first question we want to ask them is, I don't like starting with name in this kind of form because you are looking for information. Single father too. Who is this one now? Are they tired? Not saying parents. Now, I want to start with something that is relevant. That has to do with their demography, right? And it's mostly not named for me. For me, it's mostly something like what's your gender? Right, let's start with gender. Male, female. It should only be male and female now. Okay, let's add other just in case, because now there's other. Him or her, she, we. So we've added gender. Gender is a demographic information, right? You want to know the gender of the people that feel. As much as yes, we know that it's mostly women that will probably feel this. So you don't want to just work on assumption. Give it the benefit of doubt. So we choose gender, male, female. And we choose location, right? You know the location of the people that are filling your form the most. From there, you know exactly where most of your customers will probably be, right? So we leave that as a short answer. Notice if you want to change an option, you can come here, you can change to multiple choice, but we don't want multiple choice, it's a location. So the person just has to write down their location. So we'll leave it at short answer text, right? So they'll just drop their location. We've asked gender, we've asked location, gender of baby, if pregnant, how many weeks gone, what are the fines? Okay, good. I love this. I'll probably use some questions from here. So I'm focused on demographic for now. And I can choose age range. Age range. Well, we know that it's mostly going to be maybe newly married couples, but just for the benefit of people, probably other people who have other businesses. So they know the guidelines. So we do age, right? Or age range precisely. Let's just do age range. So you now give them a range of age that you want them to pick from. Because people will probably not want to give you their exact age. So you can say 20 to, and from 20 we specific get picking now here, 20 to maybe 30 years, 30 to maybe 40 years, 40 to 50, 50 and above. After 50, don't reach menopause. Okay. So let's say this is what we put there, 50 or above. If anybody is below 50 and they're feeling this below 20, as I don't know what to say. Right, so we have this now, age range, right? We've had how many demographic questions? We've looked at their gender, we've looked at their location, we looked at their age range. What else now? I think we've gotten the three major things we want. Is there any other thing you want me to add in the demography? I don't think so. If you have, spill the bean.
What about level of education? Does it matter?
Okay. Okay, that can work. Yes, that also works. Education, yeah, maybe education level. And you can give them option. That way you have to give them options. So you can start with SSCE, BSc. What else? School leaver. This one is certificate now. So let's say school leaver. BSc holder. So let's do it like this. MSc holder. Maybe PhD. I didn't write PhD holder. And we can add others just in case. We did not add like diploma, all those other ones. They might be exhausting the list, so we'll just add other. Probably give us their answers there. So we've had good demographic questions now. We've had their age, we've had their location, we've had their age range, we have their education level. Right now, we'll dive into the more specific questions. Yeah. So it's most likely people who already have babies, right? New babies. So we want to dive straight into the question that has to do with babies, because when anybody is feeling, is either somebody who has babies or who is pregnant, right? So we can say something like, are you, do you have babies or are you expecting? Do you already, no, I don't want the question to sound commanding. I need something mild. Expecting baby or already have one. Yeah, so we can do this like this. So we can now put here option 1, expecting a baby. Option 2, already have a baby. Option 3, none of the above. We can filter this out, right? So we've asked them now, right? We've asked them. Some questions are going to be leading. Some questions are going to be leading questions. Like, who asked this? Who dropped this thing on the comment chat section? I think I love the questions. If pregnant, how many weeks gone? Yeah. So we can now ask the next question, right? If expecting a baby, how many weeks gone? How many weeks gone, Abby? Question mark. We'll leave it at a short answer so that they can answer, because we can't begin to write weeks. Right, so now we have that question out of the way. Then the next question can be people should calm down. We're going to send the attendance. Let me request for it. Oh, for this instance. Sorry, I'm requesting for the attendance list. So people will allow me to rest. Okay. I've requested, so hopefully they'll send it. Now we've asked if expecting a baby, how many weeks what? Gone, right? And she just asked a question. What is the question? Just the question that I saw from that lady. I'm not too conversant. I just decided to take on this because it's a challenge. I'm not too conversant with baby, because this is something that you have to calm down and do. These are off the top of my head. What are the first 5 items that you would like to get? Yes. And it's a multiple choice question. If you're expecting a baby, how many months gone? They will tell you how many months gone. So if it's a newborn, you already know it's a newborn, so you don't even need to ask any other further question, except you want to ask, okay, yeah, if already have a baby, this is also a leading question. Baby, comma, what's the gender of the baby? What's the baby's gender? I don't know how relevant this question is, but let's just put it there. And then we have male, we have female. Actually, I'm not started giving babies other this thing now. Other recognitions. It's just male and female for now. Let me know. So yes, we've gone down. Now we can now see what are the most, okay, let's put it this way. What are the most essential items you would look to first purchase or get for your baby, to first get your baby? Now this one is multiple choice. This one is not going to be multiple, this one is going to be tick box. So please give me the items. Let me start with one. Diaper. Please, somebody list the items for me. You can unmute and list baby items for me. I never born, I mean. Diaper.
I think towels, baby oil, feeder, pumping, what's that? Breast pump.
Breast pump.
Yes, I think that's what they call it. That thing they use in pressing, milk, something like that. Breast pump, yes.
Yeah, breast pump.
Yeah, no.
Feeding bottle.
Breast pump. Feeding bottle. Okay. What have I not added? That's it. Cosmetics for babies. Who's that person that you're singing a willow? Cosmetics for babies.
Yeah, their powder, their oil, their soap, their lotion, they're all
cosmetics.
Yes.
What do I know? Baby cosmetics. I know that they call it cosmetics. So I've learned today. Thank you. Powder, clothes, baby oil, feeder, baby bath, and co. Yeah, so I think we've listed quite a number of important things. Why are you people disturbing me for attendance like this?
Baby soap.
Is this attendance more important than this thing you are doing? I've requested for the attendance. Please chill. They'll send it. Once they send it, I'll send it to you. Baby soap. I think baby soap should be under baby cosmetics. I don't know.
Yes, it's under it.
Okay. So we have diaper, we have feeders, we have baby oil. Baby oil too should be under cosmetics now.
Yes, it should be.
But breast pump is not under cosmetics. Feeding bottle is not under cosmetics.
No, they are not.
All those baby food. Okay, we'll put it here. Baby, oh no, it's not there. Baby food, all those nance milk, those things that want to kill the living. So, so we have this stuff now, right? So this is what I select for it. Multiple choice, no, it's supposed to be a checkbox because we asked them what are the most essential. So they now have to pick what they feel are the most essential items. Feeder and feeding bottle are the same. We have to move now. See, I have people that are very knowledgeable about babies here.
You can put baby clothes there instead.
Baby clothes, right? But all these things are important too.
Maybe it's just simple. Is there any need?
So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can exhaust the list. So they will select what is most important to them. That's why it's a check box, right? It's a check box. So they now have to select what is most important to them that they will first get. Remember, the question is, what are the most essential items you will look to first get for your baby? What's the idea? The idea is for you to know exactly what your customers will be looking to get first when they get their newborn babies. You get? Those are the things you want to know, what they are looking out for. Because if not, you will probably be just putting out stuff, not knowing exactly what they will most likely look out for. And you probably see some similarities. So you probably want to maybe think around this and exhaust your list. This is for this, Rasha. Different organizations, different businesses, different styles, and different patterns. What's the next question that we will ask that is relevant? Somebody help me out.
Bring out question by yourself so you will learn about the baby.
I should think about the question for myself, so I'll learn about baby. Problem don't plenty.
Yes.
And the guy is supporting how say yes. A man, they do man for this life. Okay. So you're tired. You know, be tired though. Exclusive breastfeeding or formula. Exclusive breastfeeding or formula. What's that?
Okay, it's just to ask them if they want to breastfeed their babies or they want to start with giving them formulas from newborn.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to add another question, I feel it would be right to add it. That's why I stated it out.
Yeah. How is that going to?
This lady, you know about baby so much.
Yeah.
I don't
suggested it now. Exclusive breastfeeding or formula.
You said good answer, girl. You know about baby.
Would you offer, please pause it. Tell me how I'll put the question. It's you that brought it up.
Okay, would you like to exclusively breastfeed your child?
Bam. Would you like to exclusively breastfeed your child
or formula feed them?
Okay.
God help us.
Or formula feed them. Okay. FOMULAR. Is there R in the L? No, there's not. Question mark. Right? And this should be a yes or no something now. Okay. Exclusively breastfeed. You don't know something about baby. Me like this, I'm lost. Exclusively breastfeed formula feed. But I like it though. I love the fact that I took on this. I've learned some things that I did not know about. So that's why I chose it.
You must
Because I know
like it.
I know about real estate. I would have been answering the question, but
You're becoming a father soon.
no, I'm not becoming a father soon. No, we do think it's more expensive. Okay, formula
Ah.
feed or formula feed exclusive. Now the next question that should follow this will be what is the reason for your choice above? Yes. So this one now is going to be a paragraph. Remember, if you are asking somebody, I want you to look at this from the context of sitting down and having a conversation with somebody, right? If the equation most likely leads to something else, if you ask somebody now, which would you prefer, exclusively breastfeeding or formula feeding? And the person says, I prefer formula feed. You ask the person why, right? So that's the same idea you want to do here. And of course, anybody that chooses something at the top, you will not to know why. The essence is for you to also know what people or what your ideal customers will most likely want, so that you can know how you want to serve them, right? We have now asked what is the reason for your choice. I don't want this thing to be too long. How many questions have we asked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Okay. To know their interest last choice. Exactly. So we now know what's the reason for your stated choice as stated above, right? So what's the next thing we want to ask? If these people, so I think we didn't factor this in the first place. What if these people are people who have already had babies in the past, like somebody who had probably, this is maybe not his first child, not his first expectancy, maybe the second or the third. We should have asked that question earlier, but we have skipped it, so it's out of the context now. Because the question would have come where we are supposed to ask them, okay, if you have had babies in the past, right? What were your issues or challenges with getting baby essentials, so that you can know what other people have been doing in the market that probably is not obtainable. But let's just factor the question in here, so that we can wrap this up. Any motherhood experience, you're just focused on mothers. I don't want it to be just focused on mothers. Should, in case it's a man that is feeling it, I think the education for somebody takes a level of knowledge about the industry or what your interest is about. Is there a way to get ideas via AI route? Voila, too much. AI can give you ideas, but not as much as you will get your own ideas when you're trying to actually research the market by yourself. Parenthood, voila, too much. Okay. If this isn't your first baby, yeah, let's put it like this. If this isn't your first baby, comma, have you now this question is specific to people whom this is not their first baby, right? So if this isn't your first baby, have you encountered there should be any challenge in the past getting good baby essentials? And we just put a yes, no, and then maybe, right? And you can now come further to ask them probably one last one. If yes, comma, what were the challenges? How were you able it. So they give you another explanation. So this is more like, okay, if this one was this one, what is this, right? You now know exactly, okay, this was a challenge that they have faced in the past, and this is how they were able to solve it, right? And then you can now know if you can be able to provide that kind of solution, something that they can actually get. Who is this one now? Father IB, father in the making. Okay. So how were you able to sort it, right? So we have that now. We want to wrap up. That's a long paragraph question. And we want to wrap up. We can now wrap up by saying, are there any suggestions you would love to make on baby on providing great baby essentials? Question mark, right? So we ask this question. If there are any, they will kindly share. If there are none, then you are done with your work. Wait, let me call her for the attendance because I've sent it. It's one people are disturbing me. I've sent for attendance and I've not yet received it. So let me place a call. Are there any suggestions you would love to make on providing on how, okay, let's say you want to tailor it to be specific now, on how we can help provide great baby essentials that suit your baby's needs. Because you want it to be specific to their own baby, so that they are answering from their own point of view. So you give them long answer. The truth is that, yes, they are not, what's it called now, obligated to answer all these questions. But I mean, you can see that the questions are interesting. I don't know if they are interesting to you, but to me, they seem interesting, right? Aside from the ones that are just at the very top, that are more of, demographic questions. But the rest of the questions sound quite interesting. Something they'll be inclined to answer, right? And they want to think it out before they give you their answer. And you're done with the form like this, because this is the last question that you want to ask, right? You're done. Now, the only thing you can finally, maybe you want to put on is, maybe you want to softly introduce yourself. You can softly tell them, would there be any, how is the word now? If they would like to, how do they put that? Something is entering my head. Maybe you have not launched your business. Now that one is aside, but basically this is what you want to know. You want to get information about them. Any other thing is secondary. Have you been able to extract the information? Yes, she's not picking my call. She's not picking my call. Hold on. Have you been able to extract the information? Yes, you've been able to extract the information from them. Have you gotten what you wanted to know? Yes, you've gotten it, right? And that's it. And you're done with this form. Now, let me just show us how to share quickly before we leave. You can edit the form to your best, to your choice, but this is where you want to send your form. You go to send, right? You tap on send. You're going to see send via email if you have the people's emails address, right? But I want to believe that you want to post this thing to the general public, maybe to your WhatsApp group, to your WhatsApp status, on normal social media for people to answer, right? So you go to this part where we have the link, right? And you tap on it. You can see the link is very long, right? So you don't want that link to be long like that. You just copy it, you shorten the URL, it's going to shorten it for you automatically, and then you copy the link and you send. Already the form is collecting email addresses, so we already leave it at that, except if you want to turn that off, you can still go to settings and turn it off, right? You can customize the theme of the form to look the way you want. You can see the font size, the equation, the type of font size, the text, the type of font size. You can choose an image if you want to add an image to the header, that's to the very top. We can decide to change the color of the form. You can see the color has changed. Let's say I want to change it to yellow. I've changed the color to yellow. You can change the background from the color it is to whatever color you want. You can play around that on your own find something that is suiting, that's mild, and that makes sense. Right? You can change the text size and all of those other stuff. But now I've copied the link. Yeah, I know time is up. So why is this thing open? Close. Yeah. So I've copied the link, and you want to now probably send the link to people to fill. You can now go and send, just like I'm going to send to this your chat section now. I can say, hey, you can now add a text to the link and say, we are trying to find out how best you would want to have baby essentials that suit your baby's needs. Full stop. Kindly take out 5 minutes. I mean, this is not how it's supposed to be, but this is just on the top of my head of your time to let us. Don't worry, you're going to see it. I'm not finished with it. To let us know what your baby needs. Stop. Then you paste the link, and I'll just drop it. So that's the link in your, what's it called now? In the chat. It's in the chat. I've just dropped it on the chat, right? You can now, click on the link and access the form. Let's see if I send attendance now. Yes, I wanted to do that, right? I wanted to say that we did not make any question required as per asterisks. So you want to make some questions required. For example, this may be demographic questions. You start with it, you want to make it required, right? But why I didn't make them required is because, like I mentioned earlier, they are not obligated to give you answers, but then you still need to make some questions required so that they don't just skim through the form. So most of the, what's it called now? The long answer text, the ones that have to do a paragraph, do not make it required. Maybe these ones that just has options, you can make them required, especially the demographic parts, right? So we can make the demographic parts required. I've made some required already, right? This one now can be required. Are you expecting a baby or already have a baby? Can be required too, right? If expecting a baby, how many weeks gone? Can also be required. But you see those ones of long texts where they have to give you long answers, please do not make it required. Leave it. But psychology will already ensure that, oh, this one is required, this one is required, this one is required. So probably they will just have to answer, right? For example, now this one, this long one now, this if yes, what are the challenges and how we're able to sort it? It's not going to be required. Are there any suggestions you would love to make on this? Is not going to be required. If this isn't your first baby, have you encountered any challenge in the past getting good baby essentials? It's not also going to be required. So you just use your initiative to know the questions that shouldn't be required, right? Because they're not obligated to fill it. They are doing you like a favor per se, right? Is there any question? I'm trying to get your attendance link. I can't get through to the admin. It's crazy here. Is there any question? If I draw my session to a close.
What if you can't get through to the admin and this section closes? How are we going to do our attendance, please?
That's the question.
No, I'm just
that's a question.
That's our question. Okay. Don't worry, I'll get through to the admin by the grace of God. How can you make a question required? I just did it now. what's his name? Ugochukwu. So let me just show you again quickly. How can I use your phones to create this? Go to, okay, so look at how you get, two people have already responded. You can see 2 responses. So if you want to make a question required, this is what you do. Ugochukwu, from the question, right? For instance, this is number 1, gender, male or female. While you're answering, while you're doing, making the, creating the question, if you look down, you can see here, required or not. So if I toggle this off, it's not going to be required anymore. But if I turn it on, the question is automatically required. So that is where you make a question required. You just click on the question, right? And you toggle on the off and on required, right? Then this is also to delete a question. Maybe I want to delete this question, I'll just click on delete. I want to duplicate the question, I'll just click on duplicate. Musa, popular, your hand is up. So let me just quickly answer your question.
Yes, and my question is if you can get the recording after the class.
Yes, you will get the recording after the class. As a fashion designer who is measured on making custom wears, can you send out survey like this on your IG page? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can. Very well. You can. It just has to be relevant, right? It just has to be relevant. Find a way to make it relevant to the people you want to ask. Remember, this is my own survey. So there's a difference between getting survey for feedback and getting survey for customer research. This one is for customer research, not for feedback. Feedback is one where you want to ask people, because I've seen sometimes I tell my students, do a survey. They will not do the one that they will ask people, what's it called now? How were you able to buy from us? How do you do this? How do you do that? Please, it's not the same thing, right? Mba Chiamaka, what is your own question? If I cannot get through to the admin, is that the question? How can we use our phone? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Sorry. Yeah, to use your phone, right? You go to Chrome browser on your phone, right? You go to Chrome browser and you search for Google Forms, like you're searching for something online. When you want to put in a query, you search for Google Forms, right? And you scroll down. You leave the one, if you see sponsored, do not click the sponsored, because Google, even Google sponsors their own post. You go down and you're going to see Google Forms, online form creator, Google Workspace. You click on it, right? And it's going to show you, open the form and you try and you go to forms. Once you go to forms, it's going to open Google Form for you. And you can begin to ask, do the questions on your phone. I just did it now. Right now, I've just done it on my own phone, right? You go to your Chrome browser, you search for Google Forms, right? Google Forms, that's what you will search for as a search word, Google Forms. If you see the first thing that appears and you're seeing sponsored, don't click on that one. That's a sponsored post. Don't click on it, right? You go to Google Forms, online form creator, Google Workspace, you click on that one. That one should be the form. And then you go to forms and you can be able to create your form by yourself. How does the feedback survey looks like? Feedback survey is you asking people, okay, good. You asking people maybe you've done your, they bought from you before, how were they able to buy from you? What was their experience like? That one nice feedback, not this type we are doing, right? So I'm going to send us one we are going to do for assignments. We are going to do a Google form like this for our assignment. I don't know when our next class is going to be, because me, I'm done. Then I'm going to send you, I'll tell the admin to send you a buyer persona, right? I want you to study the buyer persona and use the information gotten from the buyer persona to create your own for your business. You prefer Kobo Collect or anything that works for you, bro. You use it. Is if you can do Kobo Collect, fine. If you can do Survey Monkey, fine.
What's buyer persona?
I'm going to send it. You're going to see what a buyer persona looks like. A buyer persona is an imaginary portrait of your potential target market, and you can have more than one for a business, right? The buyer persona is, okay, these are my target market, and these are their characteristics. This guy is calling me. right? So that is the buyer. Okay, so the buyer persona I've just explained an imaginary portrait of your target market, of your target audience, a particular person, a particular sect, right? You're going to see it when I send the buyer persona, the examples that I have. You're going to see how they constructed it, right? You're going to know exactly what the persons are most likely looking out for, right? And it's also going to be gotten from your survey like this. You will now know, okay, this is what my audience, my target audience like, or these are their challenges. These are the challenges that they have. These are of course, that one now you don't have to do a survey. I just want you to use from your brain and just try to figure out something, probably do your own research online. You say, okay, these are the challenges that they have, and these are the solutions that we are going to offer that is going to actually help them solve their challenges. I'm going to send you a sample. So you just need to use a sample and create your own. Let me see what you can try out on your own.
The assignment is to be submitted when, please?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know where your next class is, but it has to be submitted in your next class. Sorry, guys. Let me call your admin again, please. Let me call her again. It's already past 2 and she's not even picking my calls.
Sir, can you use the Google form to take attendance? Is it possible?
I can, but I'm not the person. I'm not in charge of that. It's what we usually use to even take attendance. But that's her responsibility. That's what she does. That's why she's the admin. That's why she's in charge of you guys, not me. Sorry, guys. I'm really, really sorry. And you can hear my phone is ringing. So it looks like
Okay, sir, there's a screenshot I did for where I saw the participants. I did a screenshot of everyone. Can you use that? Because some of us actually we
I
have
understand.
time for other things and it's encroaching.
Yeah, I understand. Me, if I want to go and do some other things, I have a pile of work on my desk I need to finish up. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. The only problem with that now is like it probably doesn't have everybody's real name, but just keep it. Probably you're going to send it to the admin, or she'll just send the attendance to the group and everybody's going to fill. I don't know how she's going to do it, but for me, I'm done, right? So the assignment, I'm going to send her the buyer persona, so you guys are going to try it out, right? And people are going to do a survey like this now let's pick one of the brands that people already mentioned earlier, so that it's not something fresh. Let's pick one of the brands that people mentioned earlier. Am I going to see anything? I'm not seeing anything again. Okay, let's see. I just need to finish up this once I give you this last answer. Yeah, I can see cosmetics. I can see bad sets. Okay, no, that's for people that are answering questions. People are filled up the chat box. I can't even see what people are saying the first time. She's calling back. Safer. Hello. Hello. Okay, you're going to do a survey like this. and you're going to do for the, what's it called now? Yeah, I've seen for a fashion. I'm seeing fashion store. Fashion store, piggery, real estate, pastry business, organic farming. Do for a fashion store. Yep, that's what you do. Do for a fashion store. I'm done. That's your assignment for today. And the other one I'm going to send later. Is that okay? Is that good?
Yes, Mr. IB, it's okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a very wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for having me in your today's class. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for dishing out so much value. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.